policies in place which will see inflation moderating.
The Governor of the Reserve Bank has said today that he doesn't think the budget is adding to inflation. If anything, it's taking the pressure off inflation. The Reserve Bank Governor absolutely torpedoed the rubbish argument that has been peddled by those opposites since budget night.
And the Reserve Bank says PwC has destroyed trust following revelations it used confidential information to help its clients minimise their tax. The incident happened a decade ago, but the extent of the problem has only come to light. PwC has contracts across many government departments and also advises the Independent Reserve Bank. The bank says it will not enter into any new agreements with the company until multiple investigations are complete. The former Nationals member who ditched his party over its stance on The Voice has urged his fellow MPs to back the Indigenous Advisory Body. Proposed legislation outlining the design of The Voice has cleared its first hurdle in Federal Parliament's lower house. It must now be debated by the Senate, which will likely happen next month. Now Independent Andrew Gee says The Voice is about improving life for Indigenous people.
It goes beyond just symbolic recognition of Australia's Indigenous peoples. It goes beyond the tokenistic. It is recognition that means something.
It's World No Tobacco Day. A range of reforms are being proposed to make cigarettes and vapes less appealing. The federal government plans to update graphic warnings on packages and limit the use of names that may imply reduced harm. Vapes will also be covered under existing ad rules, while there'll be more transparency about how many products are being sold. Now turning to 5AA sport, and Adelaide Oval is hosting tonight's State of Origin opener. The New South Wales Blues take on the Queensland Maroons. Kick-off is at 7:35. The AFL is weighing up whether to charge Hawthorn with bringing the game into disrepute and potentially issue a fine or strip the club of draft picks over its handling of racism allegations at Hawthorn. World number 2 golfer Jon Rahm wants LIV players included in the Ryder Cup for Team Europe, and number 2 seed Daniil Medvedev has been knocked out of the French Open. That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Afternoon at Croydon Park. There's a breakdown on the north-south motorway near Torrens Road. Port Adelaide, urgent gasworks on St Vincent Street near Baker Street. Busy at the moment, Main North Road at Prospect Road. Slow for works at Ethelton, Bower Road near Fairfield Terrace. Speeds at 40 with cameras to look out for. This State of Origin, try Sportsbet Same Game Multi. They're dishing up more markets, more offers and bigger odds. Make it a Same Game Multi with Sportsbet. Conditions apply. Chances are you're about to lose. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, a shower or two tomorrow 20, a shower or two on Friday 21, partly cloudy on Saturday and also 21. Right now it's 19 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
You can trust 9 News is live and local, while others do their news from Melbourne. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide. Weeknights at 5.
First in Adelaide's 9 News at 5.
Nightly at 6.
And the unprecedented police operation.
We go to some breaking news now, and crews are right now at the scene.
And that's why the switch is on to 9 News.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 4, good afternoon Adelaide. We are at the Adelaide Oval for what is an exciting night to come. State of Origin Game 1, and we are live in the Telstra Plaza outside the Southern Gates if you want to come and say hello, as I welcome Tim Ginniver and Stephen Rowe.
Thank you, Sammy. That was my exact opener. We're live in the Telstra Plaza, Adelaide Oval, Origin 1, New South Wales, kick-off 7:35. Timmy, welcome. You're wearing your Sam Thaiday top. And we met him, just
saw the great man over there with the shield and went over and told him that I didn't steal it and explained myself, and he started laughing, and we had a good laugh. And interestingly, when I was coming over today, heading towards the bridge, I saw a player, an old player from the New South Wales side of things, and he looked at me and he said, you look familiar. And I said, I know who you are, Benny Elias. And he said, oh, g'day, how you going? And we started chatting, and I started telling him about my mate that grew up in Lithgow and all the rest of it, and telling him all these stories about watching him play for Balmain. And
God, he was a star.
Oh, he was a great player. And then he goes to me, why are you wearing that maroon top then?
Oh, no.
And I said, yeah, sorry about that, but wearing it for a friend.
But so, there is a significance about that top today.
There is, yeah. So, well, Sam Thaida's lovely wife, Rach, her auntie passed away last year. And I'm very close
through
to her.
Port Adelaide.
Yeah, she was the godmother of my children. So I said, yeah, I'll wear it for her tonight.
Oh, that is magnificent. Yeah. That's emotional for you. And you are going tonight. I knew you were sitting next to me 2 days ago.
Yes.
Scrambling to buy your tickets. I've heard you're in the nosebleeds.
I'm in the nosebleeds.
Are you any further back than Zed?
No, but what I've decided to do is head over to your old mate and... the Gary McIntosh bar.
McIntosh bar.
I'm going to stay on that level and just sit, because it's a really good view, actually, from his bar.
He will welcome you there with bells on
Thanks,
it. That's
Gary.
in the Eastern Stand.
Thank you,
McIntosh. You start. How good have he been at this game?
Oh,
stop it.
Well, how good was he when he played the international rules?
Oh, well, that's what I mean.
As a goalkeeper, my God, he was awesome.
Hey, talking about all of that, Crow star Rory Laird, he challenged his one-match suspension for a dangerous tackle. It's /rough conduct. Here's what he said.
Stoked with the result. Never intend to sort of hurt anyone in the way I play football, and I think it showed tonight. We spoke about that, and I didn't want to actually sling Lockie and hurt him. So, as I said, it's a really good result.
It is. Chera got off as well, so it's 17 upheld and 2 wins. There's more up tonight. Here's the new water level, I think. You pin both arms, his head hits the ground so much as a blade of grass, you are gone. If one arm is free and the tackler has the advantage or has the option to put his hand down and protect him, and it's a one-motion tackle, you are off. Well, thank God the coaches can now coach with some level of comfort.
Well, it was getting difficult, and 16 or 17 zip at one stage, the last two getting up. I think now maybe the tide has maybe just turned a little bit. I think there was some genuine... Not panic, but a genuine concern about the head, which is fair enough with what's going on. But I think now we've got almost some common sense come into it.
Well, yeah, if you pin your arms, you're in trouble. Chera's looked the worst of all of them. When he got off, I thought, well, Led's no-brainer. I didn't even follow it from then on.
Here.
But the arms were free with Chera. Now, it looked like a double motion. He knocked his opponent senseless. But he got let off.
I was surprised at that.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. But anyway, water has its new level, and I think that's great.
You know what they're going to do?
What's that?
Keep us guessing.
Yeah. Well, here's the filter I always said.
Yeah.
Would you be happy if it's your team, if you're a coach or a player or a teammate or the player, to miss a prelim, a final, a grand final for that tackle? And the answer to that unanimously is what?
No.
No.
And it shouldn't be any different.
So the rules, that's exactly right. So the rules have to accommodate that, and I think they have at the AFL Tribunal. Hey, no racism findings against Clarkson, Fagan and Burt. It's
by the independent panel.
It's another AFL negotiated outcome. It was a negotiated outcome. No party sits here, I think, today satisfied. It was a kangaroo court of the worst degree. Here is the AFL statement by Gil McLachlan.
Today, the AFL and the 6 complainants who took part in the process have resolved as follows. No adverse findings have been made in the independent investigation against any of the individuals against whom allegations have been made. The complainants wish to resolve all differences with the AFL. As a result of this agreement, the complainants do not wish to pursue the independent panel investigation, which they wholeheartedly supported, or make any claims against the AFL in any other process, including the Australian Human Rights Commission or court, in relation to their allegations. The complainants agree that the allegations that they have made should not be further investigated by the independent panel. The AFL has now terminated the independent panel investigation with no charges to be brought against any person subject to the AFL rules as a result of the independent investigation. The agreement today does not preclude the complainants from taking other action or preclude the AFL from bringing a charge under AFL rules against Hawthorn Football Club.
So what in God's name did Hawthorn do in all of this to their board and their executive? That's why I had that blue with Jeff Kennett on air. They disrespected premiership people of their club and greats in Clarkson. I think the AFL's got a lot to answer for. And I think, make no mistake, this is a civil case in action from two different fronts. And some say it's going to head to the Human Rights Commission. The AFL are even talking about punishing Hawthorn. And for all of that, Clarkson, Fagan and Burt had nothing to answer to and still sit here today, 9 months after, not reading the original transcript or the original findings or the original investigation from their club. Yeah. This is an absolute joke.
And you can't help but feel that the recent standing aside of Alastair Clarkson, after he'd had a bit of a blowout from that press conference and then stood down, I felt like that accelerated everything that we're hearing today. I'm wondering why it took 9 months. That's probably
because we're dealing with B graders.
The most disappointing thing of this whole thing is it's taken 9 months, and I reckon it took Alastair Clarkson to stand aside from coaching for this to be accelerated.
Well, as I said at the very beginning, the chairman at the time, the president at the time of Hawthorn was Jeff Kennett, and his CEO should have offered the respect to those three men to bring them into their boardroom and say, here's what's on the table, let's talk about this. They weren't even offered that. It's an absolute joke. Former Hawk Premiership star Andy Gowers, he's now Hawthorn president, had this to say.
Of course, we'd be extremely disappointed if this matter led to sanctions, including financial. But what I would say is we went into this process with the best of intention. Where it ended up, no one is happy about. That's clear. But the dialogue between all parties has not been able to happen to this point. We would welcome that, and we think that that is an opportunity for people to be heard, to tell their truth, and to heal. Unfortunately, it was leaked, and that blew everything up. Otherwise, I think those people would have got the opportunity to be heard.
Unfortunately, it was leaked. Where did it leak from? From their club. It was their paper. The ABC got it. Who gave it to the ABC? Because that's when it headed south.
Yep.
Look, it's unsavoury beyond belief. No one's a winner, and you said that. I'll tell you who is a winner. The KC. What's his name?
Bernard Quinn.
Bernard Quinn. He's taken his money to the bank in a wheelbarrow.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
You said that from... no one will win. Correct.
Yeah.
There won't be an outcome. Correct. It'll be manufactured by the AFL. Correct. And the only people that will win will be the lawyers. Timmy, you said this 9 months ago.
Yeah, and it's taken this long. That's the sad thing.
I'll tell you one thing. I think 100% the AFL needs to sanction Hawthorn. I don't know what that looks like, but I look back at the Tippergate things and other things that have happened with the AFL. I look at other things like Essendon, the Essendon saga and debacle. Hawthorn cannot walk away from this unscathed. Now, I don't know whether it's financial, whether it's a warning, but there's got to be a slap to the wrist, and then there's got to be learnings from it. Now, have a look what the Crows did with Taylor Walker, how that was handled. There was mediation within 2 days.
Yeah.
There was no mediation with Clarko.
No.
None, Timmy.
No.
What an absolute joke. God, it makes me angry. Here's a statement that's been released by Chris Fagan. Timmy, just in highlight, I mean, in summary, it's a full A4 piece of paper.
Yeah, it's a long one. This is just a paragraph of it. I have maintained my public silence on the issues raised publicly because I was bound to confidentiality and the rules of the AFL investigation. It has been very distressing several months for me since the allegations were first published by the ABC without the investigation that was conducted having asked for my version of events. I am innocent of all allegations made against me, and I will always have been.
Well, that's it right in a nutshell for me. So Hawthorn's made a statement, Fagan's made a statement, AFL's made a statement. No statement yet by Alastair Clarkson, and I've got a feeling there will not be a statement. This is for him, I think, going to go straight to the courts. And good luck to him, and I hope he gets 8 KCs.
I'm sure this is...
Silk's coming out his yin-yang and just goes hard.
This is the end of the independent panel review. I don't think it's the end of the whole incident.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And Caro's away, so Mark Robinson for AFL 360 is going to host.
He'll join us tomorrow.
Caro tomorrow, for the next 4 weeks. Have a listen to what he said.
Human rights pathway, I think they'll be launched later this week. That's how quickly it's going to go on to the next step. Part of what I've been told the families wanted to hear was an acknowledgement of their pain and hurt, which will be then taken on to the Human Rights Commission an apology for racist behaviour, generic apology, and endeavours to fix their policies around racism and vilification.
Oh, God, this is just awful.
Yeah, well,
speak to Robbo tomorrow.
It's going to keep persisting down the track because that's still. I believe the complainants still aren't happy with the result,
100%.
and they not want to pursue this independent panel any further.
There's a saying, well, that independent panel's gone.
Yeah.
There's a saying, the can's going to be kicked down the road.
Yeah.
That can's going to be kicked down a bloody long road.
Yep, down a hill, I reckon, at speed. Live at the Adelaide Oval, we are outside the Southern Gates in the Telstra Plaza for State of Origin Game 1. If you're heading into town, you can drop past and say hello. Massive show coming up. We're here till 7 o'clock. Darren Lockyer, Queensland Origin legend, captain 22 times, won a whole bunch of Origin series. He's going to join us at the desk later on in the program. Rory Sloane to join us. Where are they now tonight? Carl Amon from the Hawthorn Footy Club and Chris Stubbs, French Open to talk with, of course, over there. Lots of Aussie action. And Stuart Davis is the NRL SA chairman. He's going to join us after the break as we take some of your calls as well throughout the show. 8223 0000. Get in touch. 17 after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. It's time to celebrate great South Australian businesses, and you'll find the very best in 5AA's Best of SA.
If you're building or want to update your window furnishings, you'll love Rundle Blinds and Curtains. Visit the state-of-the-art Rundle Blind showroom on Goodwood Road and experience award-winning service and an incredible range of blinds, curtains and shutters. Drop into the showroom or visit rundleblinds.com.au.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
If you thought it was tricky to source a great end of financial year deal on a new Volkswagen, think again. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen has loaded up on new stock. That's a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options, plus on-site finance options available. Get in now and secure your new Volkswagen before the end of financial year. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Every week, an army of cooks, kitchen hands, foodies and friends arm the Meals on Wheels kitchens.
OK, team, today it's all about the chicken stir-fry.
Oh, I'm on to the veggies, boss.
Good on you, Reg. I'm on to the pumpkin soup. Love your work, Minnie.
Love to cook?
I'm not Gordon Ramsay, but my cooking's getting better.
If you do say so yourself.
Oh, Minnie, I'm not a rock. I've got feelings.
We could do with you. Go to mealsonwheelsa.org.au. Meals on Wheels. Great food, great people.
The Royal Flying Doctor Service will be landing in your letterbox soon. Expect to learn about all the incredible things they do to help all South Australians, including those of us who live in Adelaide. It could be a heart attack, motor vehicle or farming accident. It could be helping a mum deliver a premature baby. Without the Royal Flying Doctor Service, they'd have to go it alone. For the people and the life you love, keep the Flying Doctor flying. Please show your support and donate today. Visit flyingdoctor.org.au.
We're here with Toop and Toop's Bronte manual. Now, Bronte, we've just been hit with another interest rate rise. What does that mean to the market?
Well, we always knew there'd be another rate rise or two. If rates settle around that 6% mark for the consumer, buyers will know exactly where they stand and will be able to pursue properties with some confidence.
But what does that mean then for property prices?
The market, it's all about supply and demand. And right now, there are a lot more buyers than homes for sale. While that's still the case, there's a great opportunity to achieve a premium price for your home.
So would you say now's a good time to sell, or should we wait a bit?
It's always a good time to sell when demand outweighs supply. Right now, buyers are competing for your home rather than your home competing for buyers. But you still need to make sure you're working with an agent who really knows their stuff.
To find out what your home is worth in the current market, visit toop.com.au.
Winter is coming, but the forecast isn't all bad, as the Olympic Industries winter sale is on now. Expect strong savings across our entire range of sheds and more. Step out and grab a deal. Olympic Industries, built to last.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
21 minutes after 4, Adelaide. Hope you're ready. The Ampol State of Origin kicks off tonight right here in South Australia at the iconic Adelaide Oval, which is exactly where we are. We are broadcasting from the Southern Plaza. If you want to drop by, you certainly can as the numbers start to fill in. Let's check your traffic.
Afternoon at Croydon Park. There's a breakdown on the north-south motorway near Torrens Road. Left-hand lane closed. She's down to 40 k's. Port Adelaide urgent gas works in Vincent Street near Baker Street and Medindi. Roadworks running late Main North Road at Fitzroy Terrace. Left-hand lane closed at the moment. Busy Marion Road at Cowandilla. Look out for cameras. Eastern Parade Gilman at Edinburgh Road at Edinburgh. It's SUV season at Mercedes-Benz with great savings on select new and demonstrator models while stocks last. Ends June 30. Terms and conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Oh, we're better last. State of Origin 1, it kicks off 7:35. We are here in the Telstra Plaza, and joining us, NRL SA Chairman Stuart Davis. Stuart, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Now, you've got your colours on. You're
Absolutely.
a New South Welshman.
I am. In a South Australian disguised as a New South Welshman.
Yeah.
Born in New South Wales, but you know, when this happens, I watch all these maroons sprout a second head, and I know that I'm happy to be from New South Wales originally.
Well, you're sitting next to two, because I'm a maroon, and Timmy's wearing one of the great jackets.
Had I known, I think I would have made sure I rated the merch. I saw him on the way in, actually. He's out the back. I would have rated the merch stand and made sure I fixed this situation.
Well, I was saying earlier, Stewie, I was coming over the bridge and I ran into Benny Elias.
Yeah, right,
and I'm telling him this great story. He said, what are you wearing that for?
Yeah, mate. You don't want to tell me. If you hear the word cattle dog come out, then you run.
So, Stuart, how did you become the chairman? You obviously play the game. How important is this State of Origin for NRL here in South Australia?
Yeah, look, I became chairman. I've known a few of the NRL executives for a long time. I did a bit of work with them in structuring how the affiliates work, so that's everywhere other than New South Wales and Queensland. They asked me to come on as a director following that, and so I've worked with them ever since and been a director in the NRL system since then. What does it mean to us to have this here? Look, it's our biggest showpiece, as you guys know. It is rugby league personified. The players will tell you it's like playing 3 grand finals in a row.
Yeah.
None of them leave anything out there. They'll all walk off absolutely shattered humans. And bringing that here and showing you guys what that's all about is one thing, but being at it and experiencing that is another. I don't think you can really get through the telly just what it is.
Yeah, it's spot on. 2020 we had it here, but it was COVID restricted at 75%, but that in itself was a success. This will be even bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you know, there's obviously a lot that goes into planning these days. It was really disappointing in 2020 to be hit with COVID. Reducing it to 75%, especially after we were pretty much sold out, was so hard to do. You know, the ticketing guys and everyone at the NRL were having to make some really tragic decisions on how we cut that down.
Yeah.
But look, we were still able to prove that it was a roaring success, even at 75%. Everyone at SATC was happy. Everyone at state government was happy. Our crew was really happy with it. The guys on the ground here were really happy with it. And so, you know, when the opportunity came up to run again, no-brainer.
We had the Rams, I remember them.
Oh, yeah.
Then we didn't have the Rams. Will we ever have another Rams?
Will we ever have another Rams? Look, it depends who you ask. Some pretty diehard Rams fans out there. There's guys that still collect merch and all sorts.
Unreal.
Will we have another Rams? Look, I hope so. As a director, I probably can't be too positive about it happening next week. But, you know, look, there's markets that we need to consider as the National Rugby League. South Australia is part of those markets. WA has a very, very strong competition there as well. So they're by measure 3-4 times bigger than the NRL in SA is.
Right.
But there's always opportunity, right? So the way I look at this, it's not just about national presence. It's not just about bringing rugby league to South Australia. Rugby league is a product that offers a demographic a different product to what AFL does, to what soccer does, to what basketball does. And so if we want to engage as a society with everybody, that is all the people that are now coming in and working as fruit pickers from PNG right through to the island, expat community from New Zealand, we need to make sure that we have somewhere for them to go and enjoy the things that they like, and that's rugby league. And so it'd be great for us to be able to do that and have them have the same sense of community that everybody else does.
So is your commission stuffing the game up like ours is in AFL?
Oh, geez, do you work for the commission? Do you? I don't know.
I have no allegiance, but what I do know as a fan, your game's changed and my game's changed.
I could see PVL hiding over there. Look, are they stuffing it up? No, they will always make the best decisions for the game, mate. And it's a business like any other game is a business. Some of the decisions that are made are strictly commercial. I don't expect fans to always understand that, but I do believe that they do the best time and time again for the greater good.
So you're running scared with head knocks like we are?
Of course, you got to be. If you're an administrator in a contact sport, you need to be taking that stuff seriously. Anyone out there who says that they understand this stuff is crazy themselves. No one has the science nailed on it. No one understands it concisely enough to be absolute on the long-term outcomes. So, yeah, you've got to be scared for everybody.
And cautious.
Yeah, cautious, yeah.
Speaking with the NRL SA chairman, Stuart Davis. Stuart, this concept of bringing it to the other towns, we spoke to Sam Thaiday on Monday, and he said, I would prefer the first Origin game to be in either Perth, Adelaide or Melbourne. That's the way he'd like to set it up, and then you go to New South Wales and Queensland. What do you think of that?
Oh, that's really the perfect formula. Right. So the only hustle with that is that means potentially, and statistics tell us, I think it's 75% of the time that third game is going to be a dead rubber. Right. So
whoever wins the first test, 75% wins the...
Yeah. So 75% going to win. And so, again, commercially, we've got to look at it and go, what's the most successful formula for that? Look, bringing game one here is a massive thing. That's going to bring the most people in because that's what everyone wants to see. Everyone's been hanging since last year's State of Origin for this one. All the players, everyone. And so, I think the formula is perfect. I wouldn't mess with it, but I am biased because I want to see the best product come here and get the best eyeballs on TV for the investment that we make as a community.
Yeah, I think it'll be awesome.
Do you get enough assistance from the government? We here think AFL's everything, then we think soccer's coming, and NRL's just that little poor cousin that's paid on the eastern border and no one really cares about.
I like the poor.
Oh,
$1.7 billion TV rights deal. If that's poor, mate.
The AFL would flip you for the money they've got.
Absolutely. Look,
they'd do a Jerry Packer on you.
Do they? That's fair.
You like that one, Stewie? Sorry.
Yeah, no, fair play.
Sorry. We're here to talk it up, by the
way. Do we get enough assistance from government? Look, as an administrator, I always want more.
Yeah.
Do we get enough? I'd love to see us commit more green space to sport in general.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the state government work with local government a little bit better on committing to facilities for the community, whether that be for us, shared green spaces, things like that. I think there's a lot of stuff that we could do. And
soccer says the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you know what, mate? You go out to enough places, every sport will say the same thing.
Yeah.
Even AFL. There's AFL clubs out there that play on cricket pitches, like they love their own space and stuff like that. As an investment, like I said, we offer a different product, even at grassroots. So we attract a different demographic. And so I think at the moment the investment befits the demographic.
Participation strong?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Is it any section of Adelaide that's stronger? Is it stronger in the north or the south, east, west?
Yeah, look, traditionally it's been kind of, and you'll love this, Timmy, it's been kind of that Port Adelaide round to Edinburgh.
Gotcha.
And the reason for that is the RAF base. So we get a lot of expats both from the UK and Europe and the eastern seaboard that come over and work in and around that. And then the other one, strangely, is Murray Bridge. So you got the meatworks and stuff up there. So a lot of Kiwis, Maoris, Tongans, Samoans
love the game.
end up in the hills, Murray Bridge. So they're probably the two really heavy demographics. As far as engaging with kids, Wollonga's probably the biggest one. We've run Wollonga Tag down there, so we have three versions of our game, touch, tackle, tag. And that's a huge concept down there. 1,000 kids come out each year for that one.
Wow.
So it depends on which game. But I mean, you guys would know we've got City Touch as well. So Touch is a product of ours. Awesome. And so Park 17, we'll get thousands of kids going through there each
Just one quick one. Unique Homestyle Foods Tex. How old are the kids when they can first tackle? And do they have to wear helmets?
Don't have to wear helmets. We have tackle programs from the age of 6. And so kids can play the tackle game, they can play the touch game. We have tackle-ready programs, so kids learn how to tackle, fall, protect their head, protect their shoulders, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And the guys on the Eastern States put a lot of work into that.
Stuart, well done. All the best.
Mate, really appreciate having you guys on, giving us the airtime.
Great, man.
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Excellent to have you. Stuart Davis, the NRL SA chairman. It's time for the 4:30 headlines. Rory Sloane to join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
The protest laws that were introduced to Parliament yesterday, Frank Pangallo, SA Best, MLC.
If the people of South Australia really knew what this law is going to do, they'd be ashamed.
Informing Adelaide.
Well, look, it was a knee-jerk reaction and a populist move, and that's all it was, because of what was going on radio that day. And I was listening in that day, Dave. I was listening into your show. I was listening into all the people calling. But people do have a right to protest.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Another interest rate rise could be on the cards, with inflation jumping a further 0.5%. No criminal charges will be laid against the 2 police officers involved in the shooting at Crystal Brook. Health warnings could soon be displayed on individual cigarettes under changes put forward by the federal government. And in sport, the State of Origin comes to town tonight. Kick-off is 7:35. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Roseland Park, Harvey motorbike, Penfold Road near Kensington Road. Uber 8 twisted traffic light due to a crash, Fullerton Road near Cross Road. And at Medindi, bit of a schmozzle there. Roadworks running late, Main North Road at Fitzroy Terrace. Really heavy. If you've got to go that way, maybe try Prospect Road instead. Cameras, Eastern Parade, Gilman and Edinburgh Road at Edinburgh. Looking for the perfect snack? Try Porto's new chips and strips. 2 crispy chicken strips and snack chips with your choice of dipping sauce. Just $5. Grab yours from Porto today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight down to 12, a shower or 2 tomorrow 19. Right now it's 19 degrees. More news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
Tax time is Triton time at Agostino Mitsubishi. Your new Triton is ready for immediate delivery, no waiting. And how's this for peace of mind? Get a 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing on the entire Mitsubishi range. Don't muck around. Tax time is coming, so make the most of it. Get behind the wheel of a new Triton ready for immediate delivery from Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth. Exclusions and conditions including Mitsubishi servicing apply.
Dream big, South Australia, because you could win big in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. The $4 million grand prize, just minutes from Adelaide CBD in leafy Melbourne, could be yours. Plus, there's a catalogue bursting with over 13,000 prizes, including luxury cars, holidays and cash. With a 1 in 15 chance of winning, get your tickets today. Join the fight. To see full details, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14364.
Next time you buy seafood from the deli section of your supermarket, ask them if they know who caught it. Oh wait, sorry, you can't, because they won't know. Unlike Kirkbride Seafood, they won't have the contact details of the person who caught it, what time it was caught, or where it was caught. I mean, you'd have to care a hell of a lot to go to those sorts of lengths. Lucky for you, Kirkbride Seafood do. Doothie Street, Unley. KirkbrideSeafood.com.au.
You don't win the 2022 National Small Business of the Decade Award for being good at what you do. You win it for being exceptional, like Rundle Blinds. Visit the state-of-the-art Rundle Blinds showroom on Goodwood Road and experience award-winning service along with an incredible range of internal and external blinds and shutters, including an extensive range of curtains. If you're building or want to update your window furnishings, you'll love Rundle Blinds and Curtains. Drop into the showroom, call or visit rundleblinds.com.au.
Well, by now, everyone knows about Corby Continence products. Of course. Well, word was bound to get out. Leaks? Not a chance. Corby has scientifically designed leak guards. Ooh, effective? Well, had the US Army used them, we never would have heard of the Ecuadorian embassy. That's some protection.
And if you're on a home care package or an NDIS participant, Cormy will give you a free trial pack worth up to $100. Just go to cormy.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 5. We're live at the Adelaide Oval for Origin Game 1. The countdown is on. It bounces at, or first kickoff, I should say, is at 7:30 tonight. Darren Lockyer is going to join us live here in the Telstra Plaza very shortly. We've got Where Are They Now and still Port Adelaide locker room tickets to give away on the show. But it's time now for Rory Sloane. Thanks to You Installer Kitchens, who offer quality South Australian-made DIY kitchens at a price that fits your budget.
Rory Sloane.
Rory Sloane on the 5AA Sports Show.
Well, I love it after a win. We have Ask Sloane time. It's round 11. They're in the 8. Rory, welcome.
Thanks, Rowey. Good to be on again, mate. Yeah, nice win. Good hard-fought win against a very, very good team. So, no, good mood this week. But we've got a 6-day break and we head up to Darwin. So this will be a great challenge for us too.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I said on Monday and during the call with Campo, I thought it was your best win for the year because you were challenged. I thought Brisbane threw their best punch. Some might say they didn't convert. That was because your defence was great. But is it up there as one of your best wins for the year?
Yeah, definitely for the year. Especially coming off a loss, a poor loss against the Doggies the week before. We knew we wanted to respond, but yeah, I thought the way we just gritted, they certainly came hard in that third quarter, but the calmness and just our ability to stick at it and then finish off strong in the last was what was pleasing.
Yeah. First quarter, 13 inside 50s to 1. They had all momentum. Third quarter, it was 14 inside 50s to 1. They went on to kick 1 goal, 9. What I liked about that game is you did defend well. You kept them out. You stuck to your structures. And then you got momentum back from them, which is hard to do, and then got to score a goal against the Tide. That's a new Crows there. If you can start putting them in the bank, Rory, that's a massive fillip for you.
Yeah, that's been our growth, I think, this year. It's actually stopped those big run-ons, and yeah, they had a lot of time there, as you just mentioned, in their forward half. But we still defended really solidly and didn't let them score multiple goals. Whereas last year, we were getting teams 5-6 goals in a row, which then puts you right on the back foot. So, and that's the thing. Momentum comes and goes in games of footy, and you got to just maximise your chance when you get them. And yeah, once we did get our fair share of the ball, our forwards are outstanding, and some guys are outstanding, winning contests and making sure we put a score on the board too.
Yeah, Rory, in those moments, I think the two elements that I can see, belief and composure, that's the two elements I reckon I see this year.
Yeah, probably more the composure part. And yeah, the belief's been there, I think, for a while, but the composure part, that's what we've certainly been working on.
Hey, mate, Ben Keys had that role, and it seemed like he might have come off Neil towards the end, but he played it very well.
Yeah, mate, Keysy, it was nice having him back in the midfield, actually, too. I mean, I thought he played that role really well, but some of his pressure and his ability to press the game and some of his defensive efforts were huge. So, an outstanding performance. Keysy just keeps, we keep giving him roles, and he keeps just accepting them and keeps nailing them for us. So, he's the ultimate team man.
You're becoming the last quarter, in the trenches saviour. Have a listen to your coach, Matty Nix.
A former captain who I would say last quarter was hugely influential. Sloaney was unbelievable in that last quarter, which he's now been able to do a number of times this year. Just wheel us over the line.
So, Rory, big pump up from the coach.
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of been managed a bit with game time here and there, but yeah, it's all just nice to finish strongly. And look, that was a game we certainly needed to win, and the game was in the balance. So yeah, and as I said earlier, I think it's just been our whole team defensive pressure. So it was just nice to have a couple of those moments, I suppose, late and hit a couple of bodies and just get involved.
A couple of big tackles. The all played well flag went up, and it's a good sign of a good team. You're in the 8, so you're a top 8 team. When that all played well flag goes up, you're generally going to get a result.
And that's what we've been after the last couple of years. It's just guys who just play their role. It's never been about touches and disposals and who's had the most. It's like let's all chip in, play our roles, and be connected together, and just help each other out. And I think we're playing some great footy. We've had a couple of games that we could have obviously won and been and maybe been a little higher up the ladder, but you learn from those games too. So I think we've got a huge focus on these next 2 weeks coming into the bye, just to really set ourselves up for the back half of the year.
And a good day for training. I actually went by today, walked by, had a little peekaboo at you blokes out on the track. Surface was beautiful and everybody was up and about.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day. It was actually quite balmy for this time of year, for the last couple of weeks, so it was really, really nice, a really enjoyable session. Obviously a fair bit shorter, being a 6-day break and only a few days from the game, so it was a ripping session. And we're going to go up to Darwin in some nice weather and play some night footy, which might be a little juicy up there, I reckon.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, some of the players we've already spoken to haven't been. Nick Murray's never been Darwin and the like, so how many players probably haven't been up there, and will you older blokes say, well, this is what's going to happen, this is how the conditions are going to be, try and help them out?
Absolutely. That's sort of part and parcel of being an older fella. You got to pass on your knowledge. Unfortunately, my knowledge is a little bit shaky from last time I went up there. I think that was last time I went up there, I saw some stars, and Tex was trying to get me off the ground against Melbourne. So
remember that?
We had a good win up there last time. So that's the plan, and that's what we want to build as a group, to be able to go anywhere and be able to perform.
Well, the good thing is the other Rory's going to be able to play, and rightly so. He got let off his charge of rough conduct.
Yeah, I mean, great result for us, obviously, but I think more for just as players, I was sort of scratching my head going, for me, it looked like more of an action he was penalised for. I didn't really see Neil's head hit the ground, so there'd be so many of those ones throughout the rest of the year. I was like, I really hope he doesn't get suspended, because then there would have been another 50 more throughout the rest of the year where the action looks bad, but the outcome was actually fine. So, I think it's a great result.
I was just going to say that my learnings from that, if you pin the arms and he's got no way of protecting himself, the tacklee, let's call him that, your opponent, you're in all sorts. If his head gets anywhere even near a blade of grass. If you can release one arm, and I don't know how you do that, but maybe that's the takeout from it, I think you're going to be right, because the bloke could have, this is Neil, protected himself by putting his hand down, Rory. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's fair. And I think our job as players is be conscious. You do get in those positions, you can't help it. You get in that position as a tackler, so you've got to be conscious. And I think Lairdy was conscious of the position he was getting himself in. It certainly looked like to me the momentum slowed down. And if you look at one direction, his left arm was actually bulging. I reckon he was trying to pull back on Neil, so just to soften that blow for him. So, I think Lairdy did everything he could. That was a good result for us.
He had 16 tackles. You off to the rugby tonight?
I'm not actually. I'm obviously a Queenslander, obviously a Victorian. Love the Melbourne Storm, so we had 3 pretty influential guys in the Maroons team for quite some time. Yeah. I'm not tonight. I'm going to sit at home and watch it. Great Elliot Himmelberg said to a few of the boys, he goes, I don't want to go there and listen to everyone talk. He goes, I want to sit and watch it. It'll be a great event, another great event for South Australia.
Brilliant. Hey, got a quick text come through. Is B. Smith's back okay? Is he back in, and what about Hinge?
Yeah, so Smitty's back. He back trained today.
Good.
I think he got through well, so I haven't heard anything different otherwise, so I'd imagine he'd be back. Hingy's certainly trained well today as well, so he'll be in the mix with selection, definitely.
Well done, Rory. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, guys.
Well done, Rory Sloane there. They're off to Darwin. They'll probably leave, get there at 32 degrees. Again, about the fixture. Gold Coast have been up there all week. They've played a game up there. They're acclimatised. They've been training all week up there. And the second team, no matter who that second team was, it's going to be a tough ask.
Yeah.
And this is the one for me. They go up there and win this one.
It's a big
Everyone's
ask.
Getting on board the Crows.
Everyone. Oh, that's good.
Well, you?
Put a notice out, please.
Timmy, you? Rory Sloane, our guest.
Planning a DIY renovation, you can visit You Install It Kitchens. They got custom cabinetry for the kitchen, laundry, linen, and much, much more. Cabinetry that's all locally made, fully assembled and quick to deliver. It is the easy way to DIY. It is 4:45. Just before we go to the break, guys, AFL.com.au are reporting that North Melbourne has confirmed that Alistair Clarkson will remain away from the club indefinitely, despite the Kangaroos coach being cleared by the AFL in the investigation overnight. So that's
no surprise.
There's an update for you on the Alistair Clarkson front. Who knows how long it will be until he returns.
He wants closure, and he hasn't got closure. He wants his name cleared. He hasn't had his name cleared. He is a 4-time premiership revered legend, and he feels like a piece of you-know-what. So good on him. Clarko, go hard.
It will take all the time he needs.
Go hard.
It's time to play this, though.
It's time for 7-time Timmy's Lucky Sevens.
If you want to head along to the Port Adelaide Hawthorn game here at the Adelaide Oval on Saturday, 8223 0055, we have the 7-time lucky quiz, all brought to you by Tim Ginniver. We're going to play that after the break. Here's your traffic.
At Roslyn Park, Harvey motorbike, Penfold Road near Kensington Road. Uber 8 twisted traffic light due to a crash, Fullerton Road near Cross Road, and Medindi Roosh Mozzle there with roadworks running late Main North Road at Fitzroy Terrace heading outbound. Really heavy, best idea to try Prospect Road if you've got to go that way. Cameras to look out for, Eastern Parade Gilman and the Esplanade at Semaphore. The 40 Winks end of financial year sale is on with up to 50% off store-wide, plus an extra 10% off your huge range. Limited time only, exclusions and T&Cs apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic count, 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. He's a key defender for the Adelaide Crows and a fan of fine films. Join Tom Duday with David and Will each week on 5AA Breakfast, thanks to Leader Computers.
Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer, based right here in Adelaide.
Solarheart has been helping smart Aussies turn sunshine into hot water for 70 years. From our reliable rooftop models to sleek split systems and smart tanks that talk to your solar panels. No one knows more about solar hot water than Solarheart. And right now, you'll get a $500 trade-in when you upgrade to one of Solarheart's energy-saving water heaters. So if you want to lower your energy bills and your emissions, get smart. Get Solarheart. Terms and conditions apply.
The Kia EV6 GT. A sleek, pure electric supercar. Enjoy your flight. The Kia EV6 GT.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Now, look, with the cost of living, your wallet might be feeling the burn. Well, you can save some cash and live cheaper with Cheapest Chips Hot Buys. Now, let me give a few of them to you. Snack to your heart's content with Cheapest Chips. They have the sweet tooths covered with Cadbury favourites. 265 gram, only $4.99. Woohoo! Or savoury types, you might love your Samboy and Thins chips. 175 gram bag, 2 for just $5.
How do they do it?
That? I don't know.
Timmy, how do they do it?
They do it, though, every time. And to wash it all down, how about a Pepsi and Schweppes 1.25 litre scorching hot at $1.75. Or why don't you pick up some Master Foods squeezed tomato sauce? I love those ones. 2 for $4. Bargain, bargain, bargain.
Okay, now, Jode, if you're home, my wife of 30 plus years, switch your ears on.
Oh.
Load up on essentials while you're there with 110-pack finished dishwashing tablets.
That's cheap.
Hey, $17.99.
I bought these last time they did that.
Radiant commercial blend. 2 kilo, a red hot, $7.99. And assorted Lynx deodorants, 3 for just $10. They got the Lynx deodorant that's for sensitive skin. God, I'd give that a belt.
Yeah, well, I'll get you a 3-pack.
Check out this week's catalogue. Gee, Timmy, thanks, mate. Check out this week's catalogues for more hot buys in store and online. Save cash, live cheaper with Cheapest Chips.
Go round. I'm pedaling as fast as I can. Oh, shut up. Wait, there's a KFC. $4.95. Fill up with mashies. Oh, shut up and take my money.
Not everywhere and not forever. Only till 4 p.m. Pick up only.
Taking care of your hearing health is so important, and it's that much easier with Audica. If you're a pensioner or a veteran card holder, you may be eligible for government-subsidised hearing aids. And if you don't qualify, Audica also offers 0% interest, fee-free and flexible payment plans. For full conditions and to book your free hearing check, visit audica.com.au or call 1-800-HEARING. Free hearing checks are for adults aged 26 years and over. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
Every 2 years, if you're aged 50 to 74, you'll get a blue and white package from the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. It's your free bowel screening test kit, and it could save your life. Here's what to do. Take it to the bathroom and put it right where you can see it. Not in a drawer, but on the bench top or on the toilet seat or in the middle of the floor. So the next time you have to go, you'll remember to use it. Please don't put off the chance to save your life. Get to it. Visit bowelcancer.org.au for more information.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 10 minutes to 5. Very shortly, Where Are They Now? And Darren Lockyer is going to join us because we are outside Adelaide Oval in the Southern Plaza for State of Origin Game 1. But it's time to give away some port tickets.
Yes, it is. Port Adelaide take Hawthorn on this Saturday at 1:15. I think we're going to speak to Carl Amon about that a bit later. But we're going to give away 5AA locker room tickets right now if you can guess the 7 questions. Who have we got? Got David Albin. G'day, Dave.
G'day, Tim. How are you?
All right, my friend. Let's get through these. Question 1. There have been 41 full series of State of Origin. Who has won more, Queensland or New South Wales?
Queensland.
Correct. 23 v 16. Against which AFL side do Port Adelaide have their best winning percentage? So who do we beat the most?
Oh, Bulldogs.
No.
No, that's incorrect.
I reckon think about this. There's two new teams. Think about it.
John from Ingle Farm. G'day, John.
Hello.
Johnny,
who do Port Adelaide have their best winning percentage against? Who do we beat up on the most?
Gold Coast, done.
Yeah, correct. It's a 13-1 win-loss
92%.
92, correct.
Wow.
Massive. Which Port Adelaide recruit wears Guernsey number 18 this year? You're still there, John. Number 18.
The young fella that kicks the goal.
Yeah, that's right. No, sorry about that, Johnny. Let's go to Larry from Parafield Gardens. G'day, Larry.
G'day, fellas. I think it's Lord.
Oh, no, it's not. No, Lord wears 30.
No.
I'm making a noise that sounds like
Josh. G'day, Josh.
Howdy.
Do you know who wears number 18 for Port Adelaide this year?
Absolutely, the Hornet.
Yeah.
Well played, mate.
Well done, Joshy boy.
Question 4, Josh. Which 4-time Premiership Hawk star is now the coach of Hawthorn?
Sammy Mitchell.
Correct.
Well done. Great player.
After tonight's match, how many times has the NRL State of Origin been played at Adelaide Oval? It's not many.
Time?
Oh,
So close.
we
Bad
played
luck,
in
Josh.
2020. I went there during COVID, and
Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hey, mate. How are you, Timmy? How are you, right?
Good, buddy. How many times have the NRL State of Origin been played here at Adelaide Oval?
I'd say twice after tonight.
Correct.
Good
Correct.
man,
That is
Jace.
correct. Question 6, Jace, you're close. Who do Port play next weekend?
We have a bye.
No.
oh, can you have another guess? Or is that his answer?
Well, it's
It's at Marvel Stadium. Scotty, you there?
Scott.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Scotty. Who did Port Adelaide play next weekend?
Bulldogs.
Yes, sir, Bob. Last one, and you got it.
Okay, buddy. Which Port player has the most Brownlow medal votes in the club's history?
Oh, this is easy. Hopefully he's back this week.
Travis Boat.
Correct.
Hey!
Scotty.
I gave him a leg up.
You did.
Scotty, you'll love those tickets.
Port Adelaide Locker Room, you'll love it. Double pass, all thanks to portadelaidefc.com.au, where you can get your tickets.
Okay, got a unique Homestyle Foods text here. You can text them in 0448 08 1395 as Timmy just coughed up a lung.
Are you okay?
If you've got COVID and you give it to me...
I swallowed a bug.
Oh, did you?
Swallowed a bug.
A hornet?
Right in the middle of that. A hornet bug, yeah, exactly, when you were making that
I reckon
noise.
I might have put that listener off.
Yeah, might have, but I think he
That's what a hornet would make.
I think he thought you were buzzing him out.
Okay, here's a text. Goodness me, Port get touched on the ding-ding with the lucky stick. James Sicily, Hawks' best player by far, is out. They couldn't possibly lose this. That's from Adam. Cue the thunderclouds.
Yeah.
This is a danger game.
Well, that's not a Port supporter, I'll tell you right now.
Adam?
Putting that one through, no, it couldn't
Well,
be.
well, this is what I know about Sicily. That was as good a game as you would get from a, let's say, a key defender / drop-off defender. 43 touches, he bumped a bloke, got rubbed out. Jeremy Cameron kicked that 7, which was an unbelievable game, and Zach Butters with that 41, 42 or 43. So they're the 3 best games of any player of this year.
Big games,
remarkable.
all 3 of them. Let's go to Nick from Grange.
G'day, boys.
Hey, Nick.
G'day, boys. Lifelong Hawthorn supporter. Pretty ashamed at what's transpired with my club, to be frank. I think the investigation was the right thing to do, but after that, it was an absolute shambles. I believe Clarko will never, ever go back to the Hawthorn Football Club. Ever.
What a shame, Nick. What a shame.
4-time premiership coach, arguably up there with Alan Jeans and John Kennedy, probably even more successful, will never go back to the club. It's absolutely devastating. And to be fair, we also have an ex-president who's absolutely irritating the pants off me and every other Hawthorn supporter, Jeff Kennett. Jeff, shut up. You're no longer a politician. You're no longer running the club. Let the new people run the club. Let them sort it out, because you're digging yourself a grave, and we're all sick to death of his contributions lately. Just over it. Just get on with your life, mate.
Nick.
You're not a politician anymore, mate. We don't need your feedback on the situation, please.
No. Nick, he's trying to protect his own self-interest there, Nick, and that's why I had a crack at him last week. What happened to the family club? What happened to we look after our own? Here's those 3 men, Bert, Fagan, Clarkson, who had an allegation put to them, rightly or wrongly.
Yeah, but also the complaints
and then their board and their executive hung them out to dry.
I'll give you that, but the complaints would also be arguing, well, we wanted to be looked after as well, and we weren't happy with the way that went about either. We know that's going to still be going down. I think you described it as the can's going to keep getting kicked down the road. That's going to keep coming back up.
Okay, thanks, Nick. I feel sorry for your club.
It is.
Yeah, it's just it's just unsavoury.
Right, it's been really tough.
3 minutes to 5. We're going to get to the 5 o'clock news, and then where are they now next?
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The Royal Flying Doctor Service will be landing in your letterbox soon. Expect to learn about all the incredible things they do to help all South Australians, including those of us who live in Adelaide. It could be a heart attack, motor vehicle or farming accident. It could be helping a mum deliver a premature baby. Without the Royal Flying Doctor Service, they'd have to go it alone. For the people and the life you love, keep the Flying Doctor flying. Please show your support and donate today. Visit flyingdoctor.org.au.
When you're cooking up a seafood storm, go straight to the people that process and distribute it. Samtas Seafoods, the best quality and best prices for all of your seafood. Load up your freezer and mix and match up to 4 kilograms of premium seafood for just $60. And what about the range? Atlantic salmon portions, flathead and barramundi fillets, crumb gar, salt and pepper squid, crumb prawns and more. Mix and match 4 kilos for just $60. Only at Samtas Seafoods, open 7 days, Factory Direct, Richmond Road, Richmond.
If you thought it was tricky to source a great end of financial year deal on a new Volkswagen, think again. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen has loaded up on new stock. That's a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options, plus on-site finance options available. Get in now and secure your new Volkswagen before the end of financial year. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
You can always expect the very best from designer appliances at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, which means right now when you come in store and mention this ad, you'll get half-price installs on dishwashers, washing machines and dryers. Plus, you'll receive a 6-month supply of premium cleaning products by Power of 4. Now till the end of June, just mention this ad. T's and C's apply. Head to the home of Mr. Dishwasher and discover designer appliances at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Paynham Road, St Peters.
Australia's constitution is 122 years old and still doesn't recognise Indigenous Australians. This year, we have a chance to fix that and give Indigenous Australians a real say in their future. To find out more, visit yes23.com.au. Join us.
Authorised by Dean Parkin, Australians for Indigenous Constitutional Recognition Limited, Sydney.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. The property market is all about supply and demand. And right now, there are a whole lot more buyers than there are homes for sale. That means there are buyers competing for your home rather than your home competing for buyers. While that's still the case, there's a great opportunity to achieve a premium price for your home. But If you want to maximise your results, you need to make sure you're working with an agent who really knows their stuff. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 19. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. The law firm for the First Nations families in the Hawthorn racism investigation has confirmed his clients will take their case to the Human Rights Commission. Alex Riddell reports from Melbourne.
The lawyer who has acted for the First Nations families from the outset has told the Herald Sun their clients are committed to running the Human Rights Commission claim against the Hawthorn Football Club, Alistair Clarkson, Chris Fagan and Jason Burt. They've also told the publication they will have further meetings with the families before a date is set to launch proceedings. It comes after the AFL last night confirmed it found no adverse findings against Clarkson, Fagan and Burt. Meantime, North Melbourne President Sonia Hood has written to the club's members. She says she's pleased but not surprised the independent panel cleared Clarkson of the allegations of wrongdoing. The North Melbourne President says their coach will remain away from the club as he looks to get his own physical and mental health in order.
No criminal charges will be laid against the 2 police officers involved in the shooting at Crystal Brook. Major Crime has completed its preliminary investigation. Commissioner Grant Stevens has been advised the death of Sean Ferris on May 3 was in self-defence. The full investigation into the incident is continuing. Police are investigating whether a crime spree targeting businesses in the early hours of this morning was the work of the same person. A coffee shop and liquor store at Prospect were targeted around 3:30. In both cases, glass doors were smashed. A pizza shop at Mawson Lakes and coffee shop were also hit, as well as a hairdresser and restaurant on Melbourne Street in North Adelaide. The Reserve Bank Governor maintains inflation remains stubbornly high, with new figures showing another spike. The Bureau of Statistics reveals consumer prices climbed 6.8% for the year to April. The increase was driven by a jump in electricity prices, along with higher cost of petrol, food and rent. Governor Philip Lowe telling a parliamentary committee there is still a way to go before inflation moderates.
Our current central forecast is that the headline inflation rate returns to 3% in mid-2025. That's a bit later than many other countries have inflation returning to target, but we've consciously taken that decision to have a slower glide path.
Legislation setting up the voice referendum is a step closer to passing federal parliament. A bill outlining the design of the Indigenous Advisory Body has gone through the lower house and is expected to be debated in the Senate next month. Once it passes both houses, a referendum on the voice can be held. Health warnings could soon be displayed on individual cigarettes under changes put forward by the federal government. Labor is proposing an overhaul of regulation for tobacco products. Under the plan, graphic warnings will be also updated on packages and there will be a crackdown on misleading names. Health Minister Mark Butler says a new strategy must be adopted to keep up with tobacco companies.
We intend to include health warnings on each individual cigarette. So not just onto the packs, but on each individual cigarette, which I'm advised would be a world-leading reform.
Leslie Van Houten, who took part in the Manson family murders in 1969, has had her parole reinstated. An appeals court reversing the California governor's decision to block her release. He made the ruling in March 2022. Van Houten is now 73. Now turning to 5AA sport, and New South Wales and Queensland will take to Adelaide Oval tonight in the State of Origin opener. Mike Dalton has more.
After days of consistent drizzle in Adelaide, the Clouds have held off on this Origin day, hopefully making for a fast and frenetic Game 1 tonight. Ticket sales have picked up substantially since the weekend, and Adelaide Oval is expected to be at near capacity for kick-off, but it seems Blues fans will be outnumbered tonight. Maroon's jerseys the more frequent colour through the city streets.
Kick-off is at 7:35. Collingwood midfielder Steele Sidebottom will miss 6 to 8 weeks due to a knee injury. Scans revealing Sidebottom strained the medial collateral ligament in his right knee during the early minutes of last weekend's game. And in tennis, South Aussie Thanasi Kokkinakis will be back in action on day 4 of the French Open. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Roslyn Park, Carvey Motorbike, Penfold Road near Kensington Road. Road closures in place on Warman Royal Drive, King William Road and Montefiore Road. That's for the State of Origin through till 10:30 tonight. And Glenside, there's a crash, Fullerton Road near Glen Osmond Road. Busy at Lower North East Road at Montague Road, with cameras tonight, Esplanade Semaphore and Exeter Terrace at Dudley Park. Say hello to $1 million cash with the MS Game Changer Lottery, plus the Super Early Bird 60k cash prize closes midnight tonight. Get your tickets now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyomaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight down to 12, a shower or two tomorrow 19, Friday a shower or two 21, Saturday also 21. Right now it's 18 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
See the moment a man's arrested after a rooftop Adelaide siege. The latest on the man tasered by police. The concerning new link between alcohol and breast cancer. Plus, could the pension age rise to 70 for older Aussies? While the Reserve Bank boss reckons young people should work harder and live with their parents longer. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's after 5. We are live down to the Adelaide Oval. We're ahead of State of Origin Game 1 tonight. We're in the Telstra Plaza, just outside the Southern Gates. If you want to come down and say hello, great evening it's looking out to be, and we're expecting around 50,000 for tonight's game, which would just be outstanding. Coming up this hour, live with us, Darren Lockyer is going to join us here outside the gates. Carl Amon from the Hawthorn Footy Club, and we still have Port Adelaide locker room tickets. In fact, no, we don't. We've just given away the Port locker room tickets, but it's time now for Where Are They Now? Winter is here. You can save money and get a Walco Guardian pool cover today. Visit walco.com.au.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Yeah, Rowey, we love Where Are They Now? If you haven't got the Walco blankie on your swim pool, get it done.
Yeah,
quickly.
You're a clown.
I've already done it already. So now this bloke, 255 games, 3 sample flags, a couple of AFL flags.
Unreal.
Phenomenal, isn't it? Played with Port Adelaide, Saints and Hawks. None other than the great Brent Guerra. G'day, Goo. How are you?
Yeah, going well, guys. Yourself?
Fantastic, mate.
Hang on, Goo?
Yeah, that's it. That was his nickname.
Where'd you get that, Brent?
I had a conversation with somebody about this last night, and it's not what other people would think, but it's because Guerra, the Port boys gave me that one.
Of course it is.
Back in the early 2000s.
Okay. All in the last name. Now, let's float right back, mate. You're a country boy. Describe draft night for us in late 99.
Draft day, yeah, it was just Kundrook Barron was where I grew up, so we were just out at the farm. I lived on a dairy farm and had a couple of calls from AFL clubs, but we were sitting there and about to go milk the cows, and I was lucky enough to get picked up before Dad started milking cows. So I picked 28, and I told him to shove the cows up his arse. So I'm not doing that anymore.
And then just walked out, never been back.
Walked out, never milked a cow again in my life.
Oh, that is gold.
That is hilarious.
That is gold.
That is amazing. So you haven't been back. I was going to say what you're up to now, but obviously not dairy farming.
Well, he's not out at
No, not dairy farming. No, I obviously had 4 years at Port Adelaide, and then a couple at the Saints, and then 8 at the Hawks, and then got into coaching, and went 4 years over in Perth under Roscoe. Rossi Lyon, and the Dockers, and now just living in Melbourne, working in construction.
Beautiful.
Hey, let's talk about those years at Port Adelaide. They were flying, weren't they, if you look at it? But there was another club that was flying. It was Central Districts, and you won 3 flags with them.
Yeah, I did. I got picked up as a 17-year-old by Port, and then Centrals were my feeder club when I wasn't playing. when I wasn't playing seniors at Port Adelaide. And,
good timing.
Yeah, it was great timing. Obviously, the first year I think I only ended up playing about 28 games for Centrals, but I was lucky enough to play in 3 flags with them.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But yeah, it was a fair old drive when I was living in Semaphore out to Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But loved the years there. Had so much fun. Obviously, like I said, played in 3 flags, and I was unable to get back to their big reunion this year. But I still speak to a couple of the guys that played in the flags with, so it's good.
Well done. I was asked to ask you this, Goo. How good were the Gowans twins?
No, they were very good. They were very good, the boys. Sometimes I didn't know if they were abusing the opposition more or themselves at times, because they used to rip into each other, I can tell you that much.
Okay, then 2 seasons at Saints. What happened at Port? Because that next year they went on to win the flag.
Yeah, I know. It's actually happened to me a couple of times. I left Port, they went, and then 2004 they won the flag, and Hawthorn I retired in 13. They won 14-15. So it's happened a couple of times, but yeah, I'd had 4 years there, and I got in trouble a couple of times, especially walking out of the General Havelock and other nightclubs like that. But I wanted to come home, closer to family and friends, and I was lucky enough that I got traded to St Kilda, but that only lasted for a couple of years. But yeah, the reason behind that, I just wanted to get back home to Victoria and just spend more time with family and friends.
Can you describe, because you had Grant Thomas at St Kilda, you had Choco at Port, Clarko at both Centrals and Hawthorn. How did each one of those guys influence your career?
Yeah, Choco had a big influence on my career. Obviously, when I first started there, I certainly learned it the hard way. Being from a country town of 700 people to then going to Adelaide, and there's a few more nightclubs and a few more girls in Adelaide than there was in my hometown, and I sort of got sucked into all that. And
temptation got you.
It did, but Choco, he certainly pulled me in line after a couple of years, and then so he had a big impact on my career. Grant Thomas, obviously there for only 2 years, sort of short and sweet stint there. I got delisted by St Kilda, so it wasn't a great 2 years. And then Hawthorn, Clarko had a massive impact on my career. Obviously, at the age of 23, I didn't know where I was going to be. Obviously, getting delisted by Saints and then being picked up by Hawks and Clarko. Played 8 years there, and it was 8 years of my best footy. Won 2 flags, and memories that we'll have forever.
Well, it's a left-footer's paradise, wasn't it? Anybody who was left-footed, he loved in the side, and he even brought your old mate Stewie Jew into the fold in 2008 to win a flag with you.
Yeah, Dewey was there. I think he was there at about 130 kilos, and then ended up playing at about 100. So he did really well to get into a position to play not only in a premiership but just to play a game that year. And he worked super hard, Dewey, and got himself in a position to play in another flag. But there was I think there was about 11, 12 left footers in that team in 08.
It's amazing.
And they were all pretty good ball users.
And that was important, wasn't it? Especially come the GF day. I mean, it was a massive upset, wasn't it? Geelong, were the super side. They'd killed Port the year before. Here they are, dominating season. You blokes getting a grand final and just turn it on its head. Yeah, we did. I think everyone remembers that grand final of all the rush behinds in that game. There was a lot, but people always ask, was that a plan that we went in the game with? But it wasn't. It just sort of played out like that. And I think it happened a couple of times, and then after that it was like, why don't we continue doing this and not turn it over inside their 50 and allow them to kick goals? But it ended up working out, and I think we won by about 36 points, 37 points. So, but they were the best team all year, and we were just a better team on the day.
Was that grand final? That's what I'm talking about.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
Shane
Crawford's
last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I think you're right.
So, Yeah, it was his last game, and it was a great couple of days after that.
Yeah. You were at Hawthorn when some of these historical claims were made against Clarko, your coach. Now that it's concluded, you got any thoughts on that, Brett?
To be honest, I had no idea what was happening at the time, and like I said, I can't really comment on it. The first I'd heard of it was when it was released out in the media, so I only know what you guys have heard and read yourselves. But like as I said, I'd never heard anything around the club when I was there. That's all I have to say, to be honest.
That's great.
It's hard for me to comment.
Yeah, it is. It's hard for all of us because it's just so unsavoury. There's no winner from it, Brent, which we knew. How did you go with your gambling? Did you have a bit of a gambling addiction there?
I did, yeah. Lost a fair bit at one stage, and then, I'm all over that now, and
you've helped others though, Brent, as well, haven't you? You've helped others.
Yeah, correct. I did a bit of work for the Victorian Gambling Association as well.
Yeah,
did a fair few talks.
Good on you.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not a part of my life anymore. That's for sure.
No, well done, mate. That was an excellent, and to actually pass on your knowledge and how to sort of break those shackles was really good of you as well, mate. So well done on that. Hey, when you did finish your career, did you catch up and end up playing with your brother? Was it at Deer Park?
Yeah, Deer Park. Yeah, I went and played a year with my brother, and he ended up doing his knee in about round 6.
Oh,
so I only got to play in a couple of games with him, but we won the grand final that year too. There was a few players that went back there that same year. It was myself, Ryan Hargraves, Ryan Houlihan, and Brett Thornton. So
Hargy.
It was a pretty good team.
Yeah.
And Mark Bullen was the coach who used to play at
I remember Mark. He played a little bit at the Maggies with me. Yeah. Good lad.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, fantastic.
So,
mate.
it was a pretty good team that year.
Now, in your Port days, you sort of were in a group of friends that I would describe as the Rat Pack, really.
Oh, no.
Roger James, Stuart Dew, Joshy Franco, these sort of guys.
Nick Stevens, Josh Franco.
Yeah, used to get up to some stuff. And Dave Armfield, the fitness coach runner, was normally, the victim of these pranks, wasn't he?
He was. Poor old Arnie.
And rightly so, I say.
Did you or did you not put his car on Albion Oval with the club lock full on? It was doing donuts.
Well, we put it at one end of the ground and put it in drive, and told Arnie that his car was on the footy ground heading for the other end goals, and he ran out, and it was just in slow mo watching it all unfold, but it was pretty funny.
Oh God, you blokes!
So we used to torment Arnie, the poor old fella.
He's got over it. Don't worry.
I bet he has.
He'll be loving hearing this, Goo. Don't worry about that. But that's the sort of stuff. I mean, that you remember with your mates at footy, because it can be especially when it's full time, it can be a bit of a drain on you, and to have a bit of fun, you need that, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You do. I remember another time I was living with Josh Carr and Michael Stevens at the time, and there was a few other guys that lived in that place. I think it was Paul Coularoidis, Adam Morgan, Toby Thurston. They went to steal the tyres off my car, and we called the cops on them, and we saw it all unfold, and they got in a bit of shit, I think. But I can't really remember. Yeah, the cops ended up coming, but they ended up getting caught, and then we said they were our mates. But that's the sort of stuff we always used to do to each other. And it was good fun.
Don't prank the prankster. That's the lesson there.
Now, Brent, have you settled down? Are you married? Have you got kids? You said you're in the building industry. What? Give us a bit of a lowdown. What's going on?
I do have 2 kids, 8 and 5, Jack and Billy.
Beautiful.
But separated from the marriage. That's happened in the last couple of years. But I coach Jack's footy team, the under-8s.
Beautiful.
Which I'm just at their school now, picking them up and then taking them to footy training. But still, that's the only involvement I've got now with footy. Is just I'm going to put all my time and energy into my kids, and
well done.
Because I have them every second weekend, and it's a bit hard to coach when you've got the kids every second weekend. You can't commit to it. So, we have a lot of fun, me and the boys, and
good.
it's just how it's all sort of unfolded.
Mate, you're in a great space right now, mate, and thank you very much for your time on Where Are They Now? And if any time you're in Adelaide, mate, love to catch up again.
No, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant. Brent Weir, our guest, of course, Port Adelaide Saints and Hawthorn champion. Flags everywhere he went, basically, didn't he?
They followed him.
And they followed him in the end.
That's more than a good player. That's
well
a
done.
great player.
Great player. Brent Weir, our guest.
Yeah, 20 minutes after 5. Winter is here, folks. So if you've got a pool, get in touch with our mates at Walco and get a Walco Guardian pool cover today. Your pool, thank you. Go to walco.com.au. Here's your traffic.
Road closures in place on War Memorial Drive at King William Road and Montefiore Road. That's for the State of Origin tonight. Campbelltown, look out for debris on the road. Lower North East Road near Mines Road. And Glenside, there's a crash slowing things up. Fullerton Road near Glen Osmond Road. Busy at the moment, South Road at Edwardstown with cameras, Hanson Road, Wingfield and Heaslip Road at Angle Vale. Receive the free bowel screening test kit. Don't put it off. If your age between 50 and 74, take the kit to the bathroom and get to it. It's the free test that could save your life. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Want to win $1,000 for your footy club?
Why not? All season we're looking for Adelaide Footy League sharpshooters to take on 5AA's Kick for Cash.
Across the year, as part of 9 News Live at your club, we'll head out to a bunch of clubs, give some lucky kickers the chance to play for the cash.
And if they can slot one into our wheelie bin, they'll score their club a cool $1,000.
So make sure you listen to us from 4 p.m. weeknights to find out where we are heading each Thursday night.
Looking for your footy fix? Then get out and support your local team in the Adelaide Footy League, strengthening communities through footy.
Dream big, South Australia, because you could win big in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. The $4 million grand prize, just minutes from Adelaide CBD in leafy Melbourne, could be yours. Plus, there's a catalogue bursting with over 13,000 prizes, including luxury cars, holidays and cash. With a 1 in 15 chance of winning, get your tickets today. Join the fight. To see full details, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14364.
At Terrain Tamer, we've tried to take all the hard work out of four-wheel driving, so you can be an expert as well as an enthusiast. Our parts interpreters talk fluent four-wheel drive because we're talking with 50 years' experience. We've got all the four-wheel drive parts you'll ever need, so you can toss them in the back for cheap insurance. When you're miles from the closest mechanic, you'll appreciate that advice. Terrain Tamer, we talk fluent four-wheel drive.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Rosanna Mangiarelli to the show. And what is happening in the news today?
It's been revealed builder Phil Mary's debts are more than double than first predicted, with the Adelaide home builder owing more than $10 million to creditors. And that figure doesn't even take into account the dozens of customers left with half-built homes. Also at 6 tonight, a knife-wielding bandit who bounced from roof to roof, taunting police during a dramatic 3-hour standoff at Blair Athol. The cost of living is on the rise again, with the latest figures showing inflation is up 6.8%. At 6, we've revealed the biggest targets and more financial stress too for millions of Australians as Medibank hikes premiums for the second time in 6 months. Find out which major insurers are next. Actor Al Pacino set to become a father again at the age of 82. And one of the state's top police dogs is back on the beat after cheating death almost 12 months ago now. Hear from the man who saved his life tonight at 6, Tim.
Thanks, Rosanna, and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice, 7 News, tonight at 6.
There's one sign on Doothie Street Unley you must see. It's the Kirkbride seafood sign. It changes daily, from fresh crays to Atlantic salmon, King George whiting, garfish and SA King prawns. All sustainably fished and processed on site at Kirkbride Seafood. Not some faraway factory. It's a good sign that you're getting the best you can get, and so close to the city. See what's on the sign today. Kirkbride Seafood, Doothie Street Unley, kirkbrideseafood.com.au.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond to take a test drive of the car that everyone is raving about, the Cherry Motor 5. Oh, these seats are so comfortable, and the state-of-the-art tech is worthy of a car 3 times its price, and almost every function of the vehicle can be controlled by voice. Check this out. Cherry, turn on the seat heating.
Sure, I'll turn on seat heating for all areas.
Book yourself a test drive of this incredible Motor 5 from 33k drive away. Visit gocherry.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 5, Rossdale Homes are the custom home two-storey split-level specialists. We are live at the Adelaide Oval for State of Origin Game 1. We're out in the Telstra Plaza, just outside the steps near Memorial Drive.
Well, look who Timmy's sitting next to. We're going to get him on after the news.
Oh, you beauty.
Absolute royalty. You don't have to get that close to him, Timmy. Darren Lockie, you can, give him some room.
Yeah, I might ask
for the legend to breathe.
Might ask him for a top instead of this Sam Thaiday one.
Okay, Unique Home Styles Food Tech 0448 08 1395. Look forward to that. Thanks, Channel 9. Hey, Tim and Rowe. What do I...
Yeah.
Was it Timmy with affection and I'm just Rowe?
Oh, we'll work it out.
Can we confidently say that the Fairweather Crows supporters have gifted a decision to overturn the suspension for young Rory Laird? Jonah's suspension is in context, is a joke. Cheers, Romeo. Romeo, you complete and utter idiot. Is that unfair?
Respect for Romeo.
Sorry, Romeo, your club...
Great contributor to the show.
Sorry, great contributor. Romeo, your club, the Dopies, chose not to go to the tribunal and contest that suspension. And if they did, Dopey Romeo, he would have got off.
Well, I will
come and defend Romeo.
That's true.
What?
Yeah, well, I am. I'm going to say that.
Well, no, but he's saying that it's fair. Romeo, your club should have gone to the tribunal. Yeah. Jim, true or not?
Oh, look, in the end,
if they went to the tribunal, would have you got let off?
I think they were gunshot.
No, you don't have 10 grand to pay for it.
Not
That's
guaranteed.
what it is.
Oh, we do. We'll actually take it out of your pocket. Right, was Brent Guerra, the Saints player that Sean Burgoyne smothered in the dying seconds of the 2004 prelim final to get poured into the GF, says Ian.
Was it? I reckon it was.
Correct, Ian. Congratulations. Yes.
Can we give Ian a $50 powers voucher?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And can we give Romeo nothing?
I'm going to give Romeo 2 stars for his right, but unfortunately we didn't challenge it. So
very, very harsh.
The problem there. But Ian, I didn't want to bring
$50 powers voucher.
I didn't actually want to bring that up with Brent.
So if Shawnee,
it's a terrible memory for him.
So let's get this right. Guerra leaves Port in 03, plays at St Kilda 04.
Correct.
They play each other in a prelim.
Correct.
Sean Burgoyne smothers the boot.
Correct.
They go on to win.
Yep. Correct.
And Guerra gets drunk for the next 3 weeks.
And then what we're talking 9 years later, the exact same 2 players playing a premiership.
Oh God! Isn't that sliding door moment? What
really
a great story!
Eh?
It really
amazing.
is.
How good a story is that?
Dude, Tim is good with his stories.
Yeah,
28 minutes after 5.
Some are true.
That's right. We're going to get to the headlines.
Royalty
Darren
next.
Lockyer,
Royalty next.
He is royalty, Queensland star. He's here with us outside Adelaide Oval. He's going to join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
The protest laws that were introduced to Parliament yesterday, Frank Pangallo, SA Best, MLC.
If the people of South Australia really knew what this law is going to do, they'd be ashamed.
Informing Adelaide.
Well, look, it was a knee-jerk reaction and a populist move, and that's all it was, because of what was going on radio that day. And I was listening in that day, Dave. I was listening into your show. I was listening into all the people calling. But people do have a right to protest.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
You know, there's a really simple way to be sure the ham you're buying is made from Australian pork. You just look for a pink box on your packs. That way, you'll know the pork comes fresh from our farms.
And not shipped in from overseas!
Yep. A pink box on your pack also means the ham has passed Australia's strict quality controls. So your ham will taste great. So for true Australian quality, just pick a pack with a pink pork logo. Thanks a lot.
Did you know that the newest census data reveal that even more people are experiencing homelessness? It's a scary thought, but you can help out those in your community doing it tough. Orange Sky is a charity supporting people experiencing homelessness and hardship by providing access to free laundry and shower services and connection all across the country. Head to orangesky.org.au and make a tax-deductible donation today to ensure an Orange Sky service can be there for those in need when hardship hits.
We're here with Toop and Toop's Bronte Manual. Now, Bronte, we've just been hit with another interest rate rise. What does that mean to the market?
Well, we always knew there'd be another rate rise or two. If rates settle around that 6% mark for the consumer, buyers will know exactly where they stand and will be able to pursue properties with some confidence.
But what does that mean then for property prices?
The market, it's all about supply and demand. And right now, there are a lot more buyers than homes for sale. While that's still the case, there's a great opportunity to achieve a premium price for your home.
So would you say now's a good time to sell, or should we wait a bit?
It's always a good time to sell when demand outweighs supply. Right now, buyers are competing for your home rather than your home competing for buyers. But you still need to make sure you're working with an agent who really knows their stuff.
To find out what your home is worth in the current market, visit toop.com.au.
No, it's a pleasure. So look around at your leisure.
So why buy an Island Star caravan? Well, there's thousands of them on the roads all over Australia. They're built for luxury and to stand the test of time. With 5 decades of service to Australia, go with the people you can trust. Knowles Island Star Caravans. You'll love the way they do business.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
Winter is coming, but the forecast isn't all bad, as the Olympic Industries winter sale is on now. Expect strong savings across our entire range of sheds and more. Step out and grab a deal. Olympic Industries, built to last.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The AFL Players Association has labelled the league's investigation into historical claims of racism at Hawthorn as flawed. A spike in electricity prices, along with the higher cost of rent, food and petrol, has pushed up inflation by another 0.5%. The Prime Minister says revelations about PwC's handling of sensitive documents are shocking. And in sport, all roads lead to Adelaide Oval tonight and the State of Origin opener. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Afternoon, look out for road closures in place on War Memorial Drive between Kingwon Road and Montefiore Road. That's for the State of Origin through around 10:30 tonight. Elizabeth North, Carvey Tree, White Parish Road at Charford Streets and Campbelltown, debris on the road, Lower North East Road near Mines Road. Busy South Road at Edwardstown with cameras Hewitson Road, Edinburgh North and Jetty Road at Larks Bay. Did you know it took 21 attempts to create Guzmani Gomez's perfectly crunchy corn chips, which are made fresh in store every day? Look up hashtag GYG Did You Know for more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight down to 12, a shower or two tomorrow 19. Right now it's 19 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Jeez!
27 minutes to 6. Carl Amon coming up shortly. We're going to cross to Chris Stubbs for an update on the French Open, but we are live at the Adelaide Oval for very good reason.
Oh, I tell you what, as Rowey says, in royalty company at the moment, Nine Wide World of Sports, we have to thank them for this interview, but I think, Rowey, we sit here and look at the Barry Robin bronze statue there.
Yeah, we do.
You know, you and I got our name scratched in the cement there when they weren't looking, but this guy's got his own bronze statue outside Lang Park, and I'll tell you why. Here's some of the stats. I can't give them all to you.
Haven't got all night.
But 17-year career, the most games for the Broncos, 355, 36 State of Origin games. This is incredible. 22 as captain, 59 for the country, plus Super League.
Equals.
On top of all this. Equals. Oh, it just keeps going. He's a
472
four times
games.
Broncos premiership. Yeah. It just keeps going and going and going. Amazing. I think it's actually 472 first-class games. Unbelievable.
Of a brutal sport.
Of Darren Lockyer.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show, Darren. What a wrap that is.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the compliments, gents. You make me feel old.
Well, we got you covered on that front as well.
Well, you're looking old.
Yeah.
Your hair's blowing away.
Yeah.
You haven't got your makeup on yet.
But, mate,
About to do that.
When you look back on it, can you sort of pinch yourself sometimes to think, wow, not only did you play the amount of State of Origin games you did, but it was in a time when they were very successful, Queensland.
Yeah, we had 2006 was the start of an 8-in-a-row campaign. Then we had, I think we got beaten the 9th year, and then they won the next 3. So out of a period there in 13 years, we won 12 series. So hugely successful. I was there for half of that, but it wasn't always smooth sailing for us. Before we won in 06, we'd lost the previous 3, and we were staring down the barrel of losing 4 in a row, which had never been done.
Wow.
So we sort of fortunate there. We stopped the run for the Blues, and then we went on our own run, and I guess the rest is history. For me, I was just in the right time, right place when I was the captain, but I had guys like Greg Inglis, Billy Slater, Cameron Smith, Jonathan Thurston all come through at the once.
Yeah, incredible. Blessed. Sam Thaiday, we spoke to.
Oh, yeah, Sam, you look good in his shirt. You actually fill it out better than him.
Well, he said to me over there, he said, I remember giving them away, and then I explained the story, and he said, that's all right. I was interested to read that, you started off as an Aussie rules player, though.
I did. My dad played for Morningside America Vet in the QAFL, and I was born in Brisbane, 7-year-old. Dad decided to take me down. I used to watch the games on TV. I'm a Hawthorn fan because in the middle of the 80s, that's when
they dominated.
They dominated, so they had so many great names. So I was a Hawthorn fan, played for my local club called Springwood. They had the same, similar colours to Hawthorn, and I played 2 years there for the Springwood Pumas before I changed.
Okay, and in one stage in your career, did Kevin Sheedy or Essendon pursue you?
Yeah, so the reason why I changed codes was Mum and Dad moved west, and when I went there, I just assumed I'd play for the local AFL club. And they said, there's no AFL out here. Oh, wow. This is in the west, in the country. It's only rugby league. So that's why I changed codes. So wind the clock forward, I come back to playing for the Broncos in 95. Yeah. In 2001, when Sheedy was at Essendon, he made some inquiries about potentially me going over to AFL.
Unreal.
Look, I'm not into wasting people's time. I just started representing my state and country, and I was playing for the Broncos, so I realised the dream as a kid. So, I knew to change codes was a huge challenge, and there would have been, guys that have played in that competition since they were, playing that game since they were 7. So I just knew it was a bridge too far to try and go.
You did want to entertain it. Well, thank God, because you ended up one of the greats. So, no, but you can have sliding door moments.
Yeah.
Well, others have. Well, Izzy Folau did it.
Yeah.
Carmichael Hunt did it. I mean, it's not easy.
No, and it's the same when we had a couple of rugby league guys go over to the NFL, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of these guys have played this game for 20 years before they get to that level. Yeah. So to go over and think you're going to pick it up in 12 months and be as elite as the others, it's
big ask.
It's a big ask. Yeah. And I guess, Carmichael and Izzy did their bit, but, they obviously were a long way off where they needed to be playing at that elite level for a long time.
Yeah. Now you're on the boundary line today for 9 Sport. What do you think? How's it going to play out? Because in 2020 I was here. The New South Wales Blues got away to a 10-0 and then we just wiped them.
Yeah, the last time was COVID when we came down here, and we only had 50% capacity, so it was only 25,000. Tonight I'm hearing it's going to be up in the high 40s, the crowd,
I hope so.
The atmosphere will be great. I think the Blues come here looking back at history and going, well, this was a game we were meant to win, we didn't. Let's make sure we get it done. So they'll come out and play well. But I like Billy Slater's coaching style. He's got Cameron Smith and Jonathan Thurston there helping. So they'll have the game plan to win it. They've just got to go out and execute it. And I think a big game from Cam Munster will do that.
Okay, Mitchell's a big blow.
Yeah, for the Blues, yeah. But the guy that they bring in, Stephen Crichton, he plays...
They said he's a star,
well,
like
he plays,
talent.
Mitchell plays fullback at club, so he would be out of position somewhat, whereas Crichton plays in the centres week in, week out, and he's won back-to-back premierships with Penrith. So he can play.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just looking at the sheets, and I did make a little highlight on Munster there, but you've got the experience of Cherry Evans. I mean, the side itself is it's got a little blend of both, hasn't it?
Yeah, you obviously need leadership in this arena, but you also need youth and enthusiasm. So we've got a blend of that. We've got quite a new forward pack there, and Lindsay Collins up front, David Fafita on the edge. There's Thomas Flegler, who's starting tonight. Then there's Reece Walsh, who's an excitement machine at fullback. So there's a good blend of experience and youth.
Yeah, that's what you want in your side. These guys still have their, even without Latrell, they've still got players of note, and led by their captain, Tedesco, who's a great player.
Oh, Tedesco's a great competitor. He just competes on every play. I'd have to say that Nathan Cleary is probably the best game manager in our game. So for him to be on the Blues side there, that gives them
Explain game manager.
Well, they're the general. They go around, they point, they direct the team where to go. They're the guys that kick the football. They control the game. Yeah. With their boot, they control the game with their communication. So for mine, if Queensland is going to win, they need to shut down Nathan Cleary tonight.
Okay. Right. Gee whiz. What about in your particular time of playing Origin, when did you think, gee, this is the toughest series I've played?
Well, they're all. I always say the most rewarding thing for a rugby league player is win a premiership, and I would say that's the same in your code. The toughest challenge as a rugby league player is playing Origin, and the highest honour is playing for your country. But this is the best of the best in our game going at it, and it's physical, and it's fast. So and it just means so much to the respective teams that they're playing not just for each other, they're playing for their state, and they just go that extra into it. They're busted when they're tired. They just pick themselves up and find it.
Yeah.
Years ago when AFL, if you like, took it up, and South Australia and Western Australia were always a bit peeved off that the VFL stole its best players and claimed to be the best comp. So when State of Origin came along, that was like, oh, thank the Lord. Now we can show that our best 20 is as good as your best 20. Was it very similar in the Queensland, New South Wales thing where a lot of the best Queensland players were in the Sydney comp and wanted to say, hey,
yeah, exactly.
I want to put our hand up.
That's exactly how State of Origin in our code was born. All these great Queenslanders were playing in the New South Wales competition, and when you played in a rep team, if you played in New South Wales, you just got picked for New South Wales. So New South Wales, so before 1980, New South Wales won the previous 21 series.
Oh, well, that don't count.
So then that's what State of Origin is about. Where you came from, you go and represent your state.
Correct.
And we won the first one, and then that's where it started. It was born from there.
It's almost like the Ashes, isn't it? You know, you should have beat us.
Yeah.
Darren Lockyer, our guest, 9 Wide World of Sports. You'll be on the boundary line today, 36 State of Origin games. There's a King Wally Lewis lookalike just there. a bit young.
Yeah, thanks. Mate.
I know, he's a legend. Is the game better now?
Yeah. As in,
I'm old school. I know we don't want the biff. I love the King Wally era and all that sort of stuff, and Mal Malinga and whatnot, and your good self. But you've tidied your game up. AFL's had to tidy their game up. Has it changed a lot for someone like you that's a purist?
Look, the game is still physical and still fast. It just doesn't have the niggle or the fights in it anymore. And I guess
perhaps the king hits.
Yeah, or the king hits.
We don't need king hits. I get that.
I agree.
Yeah. I think there's a market out there that wants to see that sort of thing.
A good shoulder charge. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I think that's called UFC.
That's popular. In some places. But I guess if these codes have been run like a business, and it's about creating participation.
Yeah.
And it's the mums that make a lot of decisions around where little Johnny goes to play. So I believe if you try and do the best you can to make the game as safe as you can, that's a good thing for families and people to want to be a part of that. Yeah. And so for mine, it can still be a very tough contest if the physicality's there, but it's clean, and the intensity and the speed of the game's still there.
Yeah, we're getting this CTE, concussion, class actions, all that sort of stuff. In your game, are you getting past players that are putting their hand up and saying we're a little bit wobbly?
We've had a few, maybe not as many as the AFL, but I think it's just a matter of time that stuff will continue to come out, and that's why the game has responded the way it has, because back then it didn't know.
No.
It didn't know the repercussions.
You didn't know what you didn't know.
No. Yeah. So once that evidence or that information comes to you, well, you've got to
act on it. Yeah.
You've got a responsibility to do all you can to try and prevent that from happening. And I think both codes would be doing everything that they can to try and prevent it.
Okay. Give us a tip. Well, I know you've got to be impartial. Yeah. I know you're going to say the Maroons.
Historically, the game one is a lower scoring game. So because everyone's still trying to find their combinations, even though they've played a lot of football together, it's just first games in I guess nearly 12 months for them. So typically it's a low scoring game. So I'm going to go Queensland by 14-10.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Ben Hunt. I'll go Ben Hunt, who's the hooker, but he doesn't play 80 minutes. I'll go him as the MOM.
There you go.
Man of the match.
Man of the match.
Hunty.
I love it. BOG.
Okay.
What other acronym can we come up with?
We'll ring you tomorrow if you've done well, and we'll give you a $50 Powers voucher for that. That'll be good. What if you were very exact with it? You put some work into that.
Because I've been asked who do I think's going to get the man of the match all week. So I've just stuck to the guy I said first.
And stay with it.
Stay with it.
9 Wide World of Sports, thanks very much for coming on.
You're a legend.
Enjoy your role on there, but we love watching you play in your career, mate. Fantastic.
My pleasure, guys. Good to see us.
Well done, Darren. Thanks, mate.
Darren Lockyer,
fantastic. What a legend.
Fantastic. Tune in tonight, Wide World of Sports, for all the coverage. It's going to be kick-off at 7:30 at Adelaide Oval. Let's check your traffic.
Look out for road closures in place on War Memorial Drive. That's between King William Road and Montefiore Road. That's for the State of Origin tonight, running through at around 10:30. Elizabeth North, Carvey Tree, White Parish Road at Charford Road, and Uber A twisted traffic light due to a crash, Fullerton Road near Cross Road. Cameras on the drive home, Lady Gowrie Drive, North Haven, and Ocean Steamers Road at Port Adelaide. Big super funds give you billboards, but Prime Super are on the ground with their members. Prime Super, small enough to care. Check the PDS and TMD at primesuper.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
Maxima is an SA success story. Over 35 years, Maxima has grown to support communities with 70 locations across Australia. Every day, Maxima works towards a better Australia by helping people into meaningful employment. Maxima supports both job seekers and employers across an extensive range of services, including recruitment, apprenticeships, training and NDIS support.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
The Royal Flying Doctor Service will be landing in your letterbox soon. Expect to learn about all the incredible things they do to help all South Australians, including those of us who live in Adelaide. It could be a heart attack, motor vehicle or farming accident. It could be helping a mum deliver a premature baby. Without the Royal Flying Doctor Service, they'd have to go it alone. For the people and the life you love, keep the Flying Doctor flying. Please show your support and donate today. Visit flyingdoctor.org.au.
Did you know home care packages are available to residents aged 65 plus in Adelaide? Janu are experts with over 30 years experience, partnering with local providers, helping you get the best value from your home care package and enabling you to maintain independence in your own home. To find out more about Janu's home care packages today or how to transfer your existing package, call 1300 558 368 or visit janu.org.au. Janu, supporting you your way.
It's tax time at Bunnings Trade. Get in quick for amazing tax time deals on brands that mean business, like the DeWalt 18-volt 9-piece combo kit with carry bag, 3 5-amp batteries and charger for just $1,999. That's over $3,200 worth of tools for just $1,999. Plus, purchase before June 30 and get a bonus Mitre saw skin or 3 5-amp batteries via redemption. Don't miss out this tax time at Bunnings Trade. Helping business is our trade.
Go round! I'm pedaling as fast as I can. Oh, shut up. Wait, there's a KFC. $4.95, fill up with mashies. Oh, shut up and take my money.
Not everywhere and not forever. Only till 4 p.m. Pick up only.
Hi, I'm Tim Angove from Supercraft Betting. 5AA contacted me. I made some time to meet with them. I got on really, really well with Emma. She worked very hard to get my attention, but also really suit the message that I really wanted to display here on 5AA. During COVID, manufacturing became front of mind to everyone, but we really needed to mention to people who we are and where we are because people had lost contact with us. 5AA really brought that contact home and really got people rocking up at our doorstep almost immediately. I highly recommend small businesses especially to get in with 5AA. They're very much South Australian, just like us.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
We love to see you, CMI Lane.
This year, CMI Toyota celebrates 60 years as a proud South Australian family-owned business. And we'd like to say thanks for your support over those years. We're so grateful for the trust and loyalty of generations of customers who have chosen CMI Toyota and helped make us South Australia's #1 selling Toyota dealer.
We love to see you, CMI Lane.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
11 minutes to 6, Carl Amon coming up very shortly, and 5AA's Best of SA is all about celebrating and profiling some of the great brands in our state. And today we are celebrating Ray White Business, and for your chance to win a George's wine pack valued at $100 plus 2 tickets to our Best of SA dinner. It's Friday the 16th of June at Adelaide Oval. Give us a call now, 8223 0055. Ray White, the biggest name in business broking, multi-award winning SA Business Broker of the Year.
Well, boys, the French Open, it has a new look about it, especially in the men's. It started on Sunday night, and we've got Stan Sports tennis expert Chris Stubbs on the line. G'day, Chris. It definitely is a different look and a different feel about the French Open.
Rowey, Timmy G, good evening to you. It certainly is the news on the eve of this year's tournament that Rafa Nadal wouldn't be taking part. I think there are a few people licking their lips on the men's draw, that's for sure, but plenty of us around the world who were bitterly disappointed because obviously the record that Rafa has at Roland Garros is almost unmatched in any sport around the world, is it? It's something that'll go down in history. 14 times he'd claimed the victory there in his 20 attempts, a record of 112 wins and just 3 losses. So it is a very different feel, but Generation Next has been coming for a couple of years now, and they've certainly arrived when you look at guys like Carlos Alcaraz, who is just as exciting as Rafa was at the same age. And to be number one at 20 years of age, the future is pretty bright.
Not wrong. Djokovic the other day almost had a tear in his eye thinking about Rafa and Rafa's statement, and I think it was almost a reflection on, wow, maybe this is me in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think Father Time has caught up with these great legends that we've been blessed to have in our sport now for the last 15 to 20 years. And Novak at his age, in his mid-30s, it's almost now or never. He's equal with Rafa on 22 Grand Slam titles. So, of course, he can overtake him and become the greatest ever, at least statistically. I'm not going to get into that argument we did tonight over who is the greatest of all time. Novak with the chance to take 23 over these next 2 weeks of play, and he takes on Martin Fucsovic tonight. And you wonder if he doesn't win this year, it's only going to get harder because the young guys are getting better and bigger.
Yes.
I reckon Novak's tears were crocodile tears, Timmy. They wouldn't have been real. Hey, Thanasi Kokkinakis, well done, hey? Good start.
Yeah, it's been a really good start for the Aussies in all. We've got 4 Aussie men through to the second round. We haven't had that for 23 years. So quite remarkable. And each of them has their own stories. Thanasi Kokkinakis, that's quite well documented, isn't it? The issues he's had with injury over the time. He needed a wild card to get into the field. And he takes on Stan Wawrinka tonight. Now, they've never played each other before. I'm not sure if you guys, your tennis knowledge and your memory of Nick Kyrgios during the
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we do,
yes.
For those that don't know, so Kyrgios was playing Wawrinka. He made a pretty lewd comment about Wawrinka's partner at the time, Donna Vekic, another player on the tour, who had a previous personal relationship with Kokkinakis. Now, they came to blows, did Wawrinka and Kyrgios in the locker room. There was a big fine to Kyrgios. Now he's throwing barbs on Twitter saying, I can't wait for this one tonight.
He just inserts himself in everyone's story, Nick Kyrgios. Could he just go away, Chris?
Oh, no, look, the tennis is speaking for itself. So we didn't even really want to talk about it on the show today with one because we're of the same mind. But, look, it is what the tennis world is talking about because Nick has done what he does and drawn attention to the sport.
Hey, talking about the next gen, Medvedev got ousted today by a Brazilian, I think. Is it pronounced Seiboth Wild? Now, was he ranked 177 or something ridiculous like that?
Yeah, 172, a Brazilian qualifier. Now, it's Portuguese, so I think the actual pronunciation is Thiago Gibaj, but it's nothing as it looks if it's spelt. So it's a tough one.
Okay.
But look, he's 18-year-old, or when he was 18, he won the junior championships at the US Open. So he's got the talent there, but he just hasn't progressed. But Medvedev, the world number 2, who's just won the Masters title in Rome, one of the biggest tournaments of the year, on clay, we thought, finally, Medvedev has clicked with clay, and out he goes in the first round. The French Open never ceases to surprise.
How are the females going for the Aussies?
Yeah, we've got Storm Hunter through. She plays tonight against Elina Svitolina. Now, she was in the stands until the early hours of morning because her husband, Gael Monfils, the Frenchman, was on show on centre court and won in a 5-setter coming from 4-love down in that 5th set. So Svitolina herself is returning to the tour, having become a mum only last year, and she's returning great form herself. So Storm Hunter, though, first ever win in a Grand Slam a couple of days ago, and she is such a hard worker. She's so well loved in the Australian tennis fraternity, so that's a great start to her campaign.
Only early days, but how far do you reckon some of these Aussies can go?
Well, look, Wally is better placed than me probably to give that opinion. Now, we've got 5 through in total. Alex de Minaur is also through. Jason Kubler, he plays tonight against Fabio Fognini. So 5 in total. Wally said we should get at least 2 through. De Minaur, the highest ranked, he's the 18th seed. And Wally reckons Kokkinakis is a good thing tonight against Wawrinka. So keep your eyes peeled. I think we're going to have a fair bit to talk about still for a few days from the Aussie contingent.
All right, buddy, we can catch it all on Stan Sport. Thanks to you, Chris Stubbs. Good man.
A pleasure. Take care, guys.
Excellent work, and you can see it all on Stan Sport. Every match ad-free with 4 courts in 4K UHD, live and on demand on the home of the Grand Slam tennis, Stan Sport.
Yeah, lines available, 8223 0000. We're in the Telstra Plaza. Crowd is building. They're going to get high 40s, which would be fantastic. Let's go to Highgate. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, Rowey and Tim, just on probably yesterday's news, but I've just been thinking a lot about the sling tackle situation. Surely for a tackle to be called illegal and a guy reported, there have to clearly be 2 actions. First of all, the tackle, and then slinging the guy to the ground so that in a dangerous manner. The other thing to it is, and clearly in some of those from yesterday, particularly Nerdy and stuff, that clearly didn't happen. But the other thing is, if they're strict enough that they say, if the tackler brings the player to the ground, surely coaches now are going to say to their players, if you are tackled, if you think you're going to get pinged for holding the ball, well, bring yourself to the ground because that'll turn it over and we'll get the free kick. So the AFL's got to be really, really careful here in the way they adjudicate this and bring in, fines and sanctions and suspensions, because it'll change the way coaches coach their players to behave when they are tackled.
No, you're right, Dave. 17 suspensions for rough conduct or tackling have been upheld. 2 have won. The 2 that have won have been Rory Laird, because he didn't pin both arms of his opponent, and Chera, who was a brutal tackle that knocked the opponent senseless, but both his arms for free. So I'm reading into that, David. If you tackle somebody and you wrap up both his arms, you take him to ground, whether it's 1 motion, 2 motions, lift or whatnot, and his head hits the ground, see you later, alligator. If one of his arms is free, you're fine. So I'd be just saying to my guys teaching tackling, let go of one arm. Right before impact, just let go.
Not that easy.
No, it's not in the heat of a battle. We know that.
You watch any of those particular cases that are up yesterday and today, when it's in,
real time,
you go, wow, you're in that tackle or you're doing the tackling. It's so quick. You go, oh, hang on, I've got to think about letting go of one arm.
No, but players can adjust. I keep getting told that.
I agree with that.
If you teach them to let go one arm, they'll let go one arm.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a technique that's ever been used anywhere in the world.
Ever. In the history. But that's what they're asking us to do, Timmy.
Correct.
So I'm a coach. I don't want you reported. You're my best player. I don't want you reported. So what are you going to do, sir? What am I going to do? So I'm saying that to the coach. Well, let go one arm, because that seems to be working.
I say hug him. Give him a nice big hug and hope that the umpire pays holding the ball. That's about it.
Oh,
you can't take it to the ground.
Is that where we're heading?
Try telling an Origin player to do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
that's a very
that's
different
where
technique.
It's going.
Hey, speaking of tribunal, just before we get to the news, currently Dane Zorko is facing the tribunal. They are saying that it's an unnatural clawing motion that shows intent to move the hand and claw to make contact. AFL's arguing it was highly unnecessary, unreasonable contact to the eye region. The action ought to be seen as an attempt to intimidate a player in that way, which is, in our current game, has no place. So
do we reckon he was eye gouging? Was there any marks or scratches on Pedlar's face?
Not that we know.
No, I think in the end, they're saying there. It's a bad look for the game.
Yes.
Don't do it, and we'll give you some sort of penalty.
Charge for contact to the eye region.
Okay, this weekend, I do a big round arm punching action. I miss by the length of the straight. Am I going to get a game because I threw a punch?
No. You probably get, if you attempt to strike, you might. Yeah, if you attempt to strike.
So if I throw a big haymaker at you and I miss,
you could be
and
done.
I miss,
you could be done for attempting to strike.
Okay, I run at you with my elbow up from 50 metres, miss.
Yeah.
Can I get a game for that as well?
What's going on here?
Can I get a game for that as well?
Walking on the moon here. Yeah.
Can I get a game for that as well?
If you strike someone with your elbow running
No,
at
if
them.
I run at you with my elbow up, miss you, do I get a game for that?
Well, it's interesting now with the new potential to
that's what
cause
it's in.
injury. I
That's
guess
what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what's changed this whole thing, though, Stephen.
That's exactly
Potential.
why I bring
It's
it
all
up.
about potential, right? Remember once upon a time we were arguing about, it's about the outcome.
Yes.
Now it's about the potential outcome.
Well, when I get in my car and drive to work, potentially I could drive anyone right up the clacker.
Correct.
So should I lose a demerit point because I could potentially drive right up your clacker?
Thankfully, the road rules aren't like that, but the football ones are, which makes it confusing. It is 6 o'clock.
Jesus.
Time to get to the news. We'll try and clarify more later. We'll come back. Carl Amon from the Hawthorn Footy Club.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Cloudy tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow and 20. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. Police are investigating a crime spree overnight targeting businesses across 4 different suburbs. Among the outlets to have their windows or doors smashed, a wine bar and cafe on King William Road, coffee shop and liquor store at Prospect, a pizza shop at Mawson Lakes, and a hairdresser and restaurant in Melbourne Street. Cafe owner Adrian Di Girolamo has told 10 the offenders don't understand the fallout from this.
I don't think they've got a conscience. I don't think they understand what it is to be a business owner and have your business attacked in such a way.
Hawthorn admits no one is happy about how the process to get to the bottom of allegations of racism at the club has played out, but went into it with the best of intentions. The former staff named in the Binmada report, including former Hawks coaches Alistair Clarkson and Chris Fagan, still have not been interviewed despite the panel set up by the AFL concluding its investigation. The complainants may now take the matter to an independent body such as the Human Rights Commission. The AFL is considering whether to charge Hawthorn with bringing the game into disrepute, which could lead to a fine and loss of draft picks. Hawks president Andy Gowers says that would be extremely disappointing.
We went into this with the best of intentions. Where it ended up, no one is happy about. That's clear. But the dialogue between all parties has not been able to happen to this point. We would welcome that, and we think that is an opportunity for people to be heard, to tell their truth, and to heal.
Another spike in Australia's inflation rate could force the Reserve Bank to lift interest rates next week. Michael Packey has the details.
Rising electricity prices, an increase in the cost of petrol, food and housing has pushed up the inflation rate to 6.8% for the year to April. Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers has told Parliament it's still high, but there are signs it's peaked.
It is expected to moderate over the year ahead.
Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe predicts it'll still be a while before consumer price rises are more sustainable.
The headline inflation rate returns to 3% in mid-2025.
The RBA will take the latest result into account when the board meets next Tuesday to decide if interest rates should increase for the 12th time since May last year.
Australia is considering world-first laws which would see health warnings placed on individual cigarettes. Zach De Silva reports.
The government has released draft legislation designed to make tobacco less appealing. Labor believes complacency has set in, and so it plans to update graphic warnings on packages. There would be a crackdown on names that imply reduced harm. Federal Health Minister Mark Butler also says individual cigarettes would need to display health warnings,
which harm advised would be a world-leading reform.
Mr Butler says after decades of decline, smoking rates now aren't shifting. The government hopes to pass the changes by April next year and then allow 15 months for the industry to transition.
The federal government believes momentum is building for an Indigenous voice to Parliament. Legislation on the design of the advisory body has passed the lower house and debate moves to the Senate next month. All Australians will be able to have their say on the issue at a referendum later this year. Indigenous Australians Minister Linda Burney confident the yes camp will prevail.
Friends, we are so close.
We have Latin base camp at Uluru. We can see our goal on the horizon. A yes vote will move Australia forward for everyone.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and the crowd is building at Adelaide Oval for tonight's State of Origin opener. The Blues and Maroons keen to draw first blood. Kick-off is 7:35. To AFL, and several Port Adelaide players are in the mix to return this weekend, including captain Tom Jonas and Todd Marshall. Jonas is available after serving a one-match ban, while Marshall is expected to be cleared from concussion protocols. Charlie Dixon is eyeing a comeback, with Travis Spoke also a possibility, while Hugh Jackson could be a chance to debut. The Power play Hawthorn at home on Saturday. Cricket, and Australian quick Josh Hazlewood says he's still got a few boxes to tick to play in next week's World Test Championship final against India as he recovers from a side strain.
This is pretty good. I think it's just a matter of ticking off every session from here till that date, basically. We'll probably have anywhere from 3 or 4 bowls more, and at bat beat ball, and a couple of longer days in the nets as well, or send a wicket down in London.
And play is underway on day 4 of the French Open. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Look out for road closures in place at the moment on War Memorial Drive. That's between King William Road and Montefiore Road for the State of Origin on tonight. Oaklands Park, there's a breakdown slowing things up. The road near Sturt Road, and Lockley's a twisted traffic light due to a crash. Tapley's Hill Road at Sir Donald Bradburn Drive. Cameras, Old Port Wakefield Road, Virginia, and Penfield Road at Penfield. Enjoy no join fees and memberships from only $7.99 per week at Zap Fitness. Limited time only. Visit zapfitness.com.au. T's and C's apply. Available on select memberships. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, down to 12. Then a shower or two tomorrow, 19. Friday, a shower or two, 21. Saturday, partly cloudy and also 21. Right now, it's 19 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
See the moment a man's arrested after a rooftop Adelaide siege. The latest on the man tasered by police. The concerning new link between alcohol and breast cancer. Plus, could the pension age rise to 70 for older Aussies? While the Reserve Bank boss reckons young people should work harder and live with their parents longer. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News happening now.
Speak with One Solution and they'll tell you cybercrime is not a big business problem, a government problem, or a small enterprise problem. It's everyone's problem. Ransomware, malware, and adware remain the #1 threat. One call to One Solution will put your business in a safe place. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Get in touch with One Solution, winner of the National Telstra Customer Experience Award. onesolution.net.au.
Prepare for life with Bupa. Get up to 10 weeks free when you join on eligible products. Plus, we'll waive the 2 and 6 month waiting periods on extras. T's and C's apply. Search Bupa 10 weeks free today.
Live at Telstra, crowd is building. It is Origin 1 and we cannot wait. 7:35 kickoff. How's this? If you love the great outdoors, well, who doesn't? Here's your next great destination. It was already Adelaide, go-to for caravans, but they've become bigger and bigger and better. Explore Caravans has recently doubled their size of their showroom, so they can expect double the stock. Well, that does make sense. If you double the size, you double the stock, double the value, and double the bargains.
Brilliant.
Oh, stop it. Where's Timmy?
He's coming with food.
Okay. Now, if you know what you want. Timmy, one job.
He's arrived with food.
All you worry about is your food. I'm in a live read.
Look at this.
I brought your meal, mate.
All right, here we go.
They're forgiven.
All right,
get on with the read.
Come on, concentrate. So, if you know what you want, you'll get that from your caravan pretty much straight away. Now, if you're still figuring it out, you can rely on Dave and the boys, plus their years of expertise in it. Dave is a legend.
Oh, absolutely it is. Now for a massive range, great deals, expert advice. This is over 40 years experience. You can't go past this local family business. Adventure awaits for Explorer Caravans, now bigger and better ever. Head to 345 Prospect Road, Blair Athol.
Winter is coming.
and it's bringing heavy rain, gusty winds and roaring thunder. But the forecast isn't all bad, as the Olympic Industries winter sale is on now. Expect strong savings across our entire range, including sheds, garages, carports and verandas. So step out and grab a deal. The Olympic Industries winter sale is on now. Olympic Industries, built to last.
Kirkbride Seafood on Doothie Street Unley process their own fish. It means they're a true seafood shop. They do it all on site, right in front of you. It's quite an art form and pretty amazing to watch. You won't find that in many seafood shops. So if there's a particular cut of fish you like, fillet, butterfly fillets, loins, steaks, tail, just ask and they'll cut it for you right there. Kirkbride Seafood, Doothie Street Unley. Visit kirkbrideseafood.com.au.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. The property market is all about supply and demand. And right now there are a whole lot more buyers than there are homes for sale. That means there are buyers competing for your home rather than your home competing for buyers. While that's still the case, there's a great opportunity to achieve a premium price for your home. But if you want to maximise your results, you need to make sure you're working with an agent who really knows their stuff. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
11 minutes after 6, we are live at Adelaide Oval. The countdown is on to Game 1 of State of Origin, New South Wales and Queensland. From what we're hearing, guys, 49,000 tickets sold.
Well, let's say TC's had Taff Rashid just come past and just did the double thumbs up.
Yep.
That means we're 3 from 3. Let's work backwards. State of Origin.
Yep.
Gather round.
Yep.
What was the other one?
Live Golf.
And Live Golf.
Yep.
Oh, are we not the sporting capital of the world?
And we're not even halfway through the year.
And if you're a Victorian, go and get Nick. You're just jealous of us.
We'll get to your unique home-style foods texts very shortly. Proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. And behind closed doors very shortly as well. Blakey's been at work, but it's time to get to our next guest.
Well, Rowey, on Saturday, Port Adelaide take on Hawthorn at the Adelaide Oval. And, well, this fella's played 135 league games already. 124 of those were with Port Adelaide, but he's over there at the Hawks now. I welcome Carl Amon. G'day, Carl, and welcome home.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all, mate. Will it feel a bit weird running out onto Adelaide Oval this time?
Yes, I think it will be. I think you've just mentioned it before, but obviously 9 years in Adelaide and 9 years that I enjoyed, and I think it's going to be a very weird experience come Saturday.
Have you had a few mates sort of text you already, or try and, get up? No?
No, nothing too much. Like, I still speak to them very regularly. Obviously formed some really close relationships over the last 9 years, and still speak to them daily. So, yeah, it's going to be weird lining up next to them.
Great. Hey, how are you enjoying it at Hawthorn, first of all? I thought it was a really gutsy win against the Saints.
Yeah, it was. I think we obviously built some really good confidence down in Tassie against West Coast, and came into the game, confident that we could match it against St Kilda, and it was a really good test for us to see where we were at. And I think the last sort of month we've been really building and building some confidence in our game plan and where we want to go, and that obviously came out on the weekend against St Kilda, and it was a really tough win, to be honest. Obviously they came out of the blocks in the third quarter, and we were able to match them, and to kick the last 5 goals. It was really pleasing for a young group.
Incredible.
Carl, welcome, mate. Love how you go about it. I've been told they're going to cold shoulder you, not going to shake your hand, acknowledge you, they're going to give you diddly squat, Carl Amon.
That's fine. They can go about it how they want. I'm actually not sure how they'll go about it, but I think it'll be amusing any way they go.
You've probably watched and scouted. You got some great mates there, and back to you. They loved you at the club. What's changed, do you think, this year? They've won their last 8 straight. They're going for 9 straight.
Yeah, they've probably got back to, I guess, their DNA and what they've forged over the last couple of years, and that's their front half footy. And they're able to get the ball in their front half and lock it in there, and put a lot of pressure on in their front half. So it's going to be a massive test for our young group, and obviously with the skipper out this week, it's going to be a test for some blokes to step up.
Yeah, a bit of a blow, that one.
God, how good a game did he play last week?
Yeah, he was on fire.
It was amazing.
Hey, does the coach actually get you to stand up and talk to some of the players about Port, or did he leave you alone this week?
He's asked if I wanted to do the opera report this week, and I gladly said no. We've got a good man in Johnny Wardrop who does it each week, and he scouts the opposition, a fair bit over the whole year. So we put our trust in him, but certainly that if there's certainly things that I know and can put forward to Sam, then he'll be open for that.
Well, that's what he's paid for, Carl. Get him to do his job, mate.
Exactly right.
What would you say? What would you say then? Stop who?
Who would I stop?
Yeah. What would you say?
The two, obviously Zach Butters is having a tremendous year, and his past month of footy has been unbelievable, and he's sort of got them going, and obviously he's captured his form that he was All-Australian 2 years ago, and he's back in that form. So I think they're the two main ones that obviously I've been watching them obviously quite closely this year, and those two have played some incredible footy and a long way to their success.
I watched that game last week. You got some really good young players. Just a few that caught my eye: Jai Newcomb, Will Day, Sam Butler. There's a really good young group in there. Yeah, there is, and I've been fortunate enough to work with the mids all this year, and some of the talent that's coming through there. Obviously, you said the likes of Jai Newcomb and Will Day, who are going to be superstars of the competition, and a lot was spoken about what the club did in the off season. But it's given these guys an opportunity to shine in the midfield, and the leaps and bounds that the midfield group has made this year has been, remarkable, and it's all because these guys are getting an opportunity and putting their game on show.
Carl, when you get it right as a team, God, you play attacking footy. You can hit the scoreboard. It's attractive to watch. I'm sure it's fun to play. You go D50, F50 when you hit the targets, but it's a little bit spontaneous. Not spontaneous. It's a bit spasmodic. I don't know the right word. It's not. You can't put four quarters together, but I think, a fan would look at Hawthorn and really see what they're doing. So is that Sam Mitchell's plan? Does he want to kick 100 points? Is that his philosophy? Where's he at?
Yeah, that's certainly what we want to stand for as a team. We want to be that attacking team, and a football team that, opposition team supporters watch and they say that's really exciting football, and that's where we want to get to eventually. And as you said, consistency is the one that's hurt us this year, and we just haven't been able to put four quarters together most of the time. But when we do, we can really take it up to the top blocks of the competition. I mean, we beat St Kilda, where we should have, nearly beat Adelaide down in Tasmania. So it gives us good confidence that we know when we provide four quarters of our brand of football that we can test it with the best teams.
J. Impey's a star. You're a star. K. Amon. What about C. Wingard? Is he in this week? Are the three former Port guns in this week?
It'd be nice to see, wouldn't it? Chatty's been managing a calf, I think, over the last few weeks. So we've got our main session tomorrow, so I'm sure that he's going to get through that first to tick off that box, and then we'll see what happens on the weekend.
You might get a few boos, you three. Boo!
Yeah.
Run out of breath.
Chatty said he was still getting them last year, so I'll be interested to see how I go on Saturday.
You'll be right.
I'll give you a hug. When are you in Noosa next? I just wondered whether you want to catch up again.
No, I've got our bye in 2 weeks, and I suggested Noosa with the girlfriend, but she wanted somewhere a bit hotter, so it's Port Douglas this year. But I mean, that's the great thing about obviously being in Melbourne. Obviously, every while I'll come back to Melbourne and see family and friends, but this year I get to go up and catch some sun, which will be good.
Oh, it'll be awesome in Douglas, mate. Don't worry about that.
Hey, how's your K aim on photography going? You still woofing into that?
Yeah, it is. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and somewhere I see myself post football in that, I guess, photography industry, whatever field it is in, I'm not too sure. But now that I'm back in Melbourne, I'm doing some work experience here and there with a guy back here, and I think that's something that I want to try and take further and develop my skills and see what I can do, obviously thinking about life after football.
Beautiful, mate. You're a star on and off the field. Thanks very much for your time. Carl Amon.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully I'll bump into you on Saturday.
Look forward to it, buddy. Carl Amon, our guest.
Wonderful to have him on the program. Saturday is the game. It's going to be a cracker too. Port Adelaide.
Boo him.
Yeah,
Of course they will. Well, you're allowed to.
After what everyone's been giving Jason Horne-Francis, surely those fans would be smart enough not to do that. Anyway, they've been the ones rallying against it. 19 minutes after 6, just before we go to the break, a bit of an update from the tribunal. As we know, Dane Zorko's spearheading at the first case tonight before Jaeger O'Meara later. The Lions have pointed to Adelaide's medical report in their argument, which may prove to be a smoking gun. Quote here, player checked by doctor at rotation, but did not recall the incident and reported no contact to the eye region. So if Adelaide's said that through their medical report,
well,
that might
see,
just help
you know
out.
what that is? That's old school Lukey peddler. That's what we used to do. Did he hit you? No.
Nah, of course
Did he punch you? No. Did he grab your nuts? No. Did he eye gouge you? No. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Bang. That's the way it should be.
Very, very interesting indeed. That's going to play out. We'll keep giving you updates before we leave at 7 o'clock. Let's get to the break. Behind closed doors next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA. Varnacare give human-first disability care that's as natural as spending time with a friend. It's not clock-on, clock-off care. It's genuine care, community access, in-home support, support coordination with NDIS and independent living. Varnacare.com.au. Different in the best way. The Best of SA. Thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
We walked in and our entire place was ransacked. The TV was smashed.
No.
The couch was slashed.
What?
My record player and records were all broken.
You must have been freaking out.
Then we saw the possum.
Wait, what? Possum did all that damage?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Unexpected things happen. That's why if you're renting, consider contents insurance from RAA, so you can keep on moving on. Exclusions and T's and C's apply. Consider the PDS and TMD. Product issued by RAA Insurance, available from RAA.
Get a read on today with The Advertiser. Get a read on great family escapes, gripping true crime podcasts, and groundbreaking sport investigations. Get a read on today and subscribe for less than you think. Search The Advertiser offer today.
Every small business is on a journey, but some are on an obstacle course, jumping from invoicing to marketing to social media. That's why you need Thrive, the all-in-one management software built for small business. Search Thrive, THRYV today.
Celebrate 85 years of Nescafe and win $2,000 instantly. Purchase a participating Nescafe product and enter online for your chance to win. There's a winner every day for 85 days. Another great reason to have a Nescafe coffee. T's and C's at nescafe.com.au.
It's tax time at Bunnings Trade. Get in for amazing tax time deals on trade quality ladders, like a Cyco 1.8 to 3.2 metre aluminium ladder for $229, or a Gorilla 4-step double-sided aluminium ladder for just $189. Get more tax time deals at Bunnings Trade.
Here comes life. Prepare for it with Bupa, CanStar's outstanding value health insurance for 2022. Search Bupa to make the switch today. Bupa, because life happens.
Tackling cancer takes all of us. We're here for all Australians affected by cancer. Call 13 11 20 for cancer information and support. Cancer Council. All of us against cancer.
I like to call it a passion. I can be sitting relaxing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
The new Kia Seltos. That's what's poppin'. And yeah, it's got options. The new Kia Seltos. The word is out.
Brand new whip, just hopped in.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team of unrivaled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Oh, bit of
24 after 6. We're outside Adelaide Oval in the Telstra Plaza. Just over an hour until State of Origin Game 1 gets underway. This place is heaving.
It's perfect weather. Well, in the last 10 minutes, Timmy's just gone, how thick is the crowd? I know this is going to be close to 50.
Oh, yeah.
They are coming in 10 deep across that bridge.
I think Hataf Rashid from SATC said probably only restricted view seats left.
Okay, so that means
that's
high
a sellout.
40s. That's a sellout.
I reckon it's over 50.
It's a tick under 50 right now. It'll probably get to 50.
Yeah.
Oh,
looks.
And there's
this
not
incredible.
a puff of breeze. There was a light sprinkle about a half hour ago, which is great for this game. A little bit of, slippy is going to be good. A little bit of biffy.
We'll see if that happens.
Nah,
7 o'clock, the Living End perform as well. So the action does start.
What's one of their songs, Timmy? Where you going?
White Noise?
Oh, that, White Noise is a good song, Hearing From You is White Noise. Yeah. I don't want to do it now.
Okay,
I was in the middle of it and I got interrupted.
Timmy, sorry. Well, I was told yesterday to stop you from singing, so I might have just done that.
Well, at least you follow the rules.
Oh, I'm trying my best. Hey, earlier today on Dave and Will, 5AA Breakfast, we heard John Blake do some of his best behind closed doors, and he took aim at you two.
There you go, mate.
And when we get behind closed...
SA's greatest rivalry on radio, the 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Yeah, here we are, a little bit of sport for you. And Stephen Rowe, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm really good, Timmy G. My car just drove itself in here today.
Yeah, we're all feeling good, aren't we, after our South Australian teams did so well on the weekend?
Both teams are in the 8, Timmy G.
Yep, that's right.
Both teams are in the 8.
Yep, they are.
Timmy G.
Yep.
Both teams are in the 8.
They are.
Both our teams are in the 8.
That's what comes with good performances.
Nobody saw this coming, Timmy G.
No, that's right.
The Crows are 7th on the ladder. They now have a game.
Yep.
They now have a game.
Yes, they do.
Timmy G, the Crows now have a game.
Yep.
They didn't have one before, but now they have a game.
Yep.
A game.
That's it.
Timmy G.
What?
The Crows have a game.
Well, it's not only going to be a long season, it's going to be a long sports show.
You know what?
What, my friend?
The Crows are now showing class. They weren't before.
I think that's right, yep.
They've now got class, Timmy G.
Yep.
They've got class.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy G.
What?
They've got class.
Oh, no, you just told me 4 times.
Well, there's no need to yell at me.
Is it really that he accentuates things, but there must be a slither of truth in all that.
Yeah. Like if you do it twice, he'll make it 5 times.
Yeah, okay,
but that is brilliant.
Jeez, why is it always you? It's always you.
Well, maybe I'm an idiot.
No.
What about that?
I'm going to go home and have a hard look at the mirror. Oh, he's a genius. Love him.
God, he makes me laugh.
John Blake, after 7 o'clock each night on 5AA, and you can hear him on 5AA Breakfast as well with Dave and Will. We are at the State of Origin in the Telstra Plaza at Adelaide Oval. We'll take a break, come back with Darren Lockyer.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
5AA Breakfast.
The protest laws that were introduced to Parliament yesterday, Frank Pangallo